3, 2, 1.
Yo, we got your back when you driving to work or driving home. If you on a plane or you at the gym or you home alone, all you gotta do to listen to the shows, turn on your phone. Two Ugly Nerds podcast, tell you what's going on. This is the podcast.
Eric is ugly and would not judge anybody else.
There's no other insult.
When did you learn that you were ugly?
Two Ugly Nerds podcast.
Welcome to the
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Two Ugly Nerds podcast. Thanks for the Black Nerd community. I am the host, the podcast guy. Don't have another AKA for myself anymore because I'm not really that creative. But I am also always joined by Ian Berserk Music, audio engineer / super producer. I don't know if we're gonna. He's not vaccine poppy no more. I mean, he already got it. It's kind of played out.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing now. We here now.
You next up to be vaccine poppy.
I am next up.
And then I'll be
you
promptly after you.
I'm scheduled.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, I got
a shot at you
Be
second.
on team vax. No, my first. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get my first one done too. I need to schedule that one. I'm probably scheduling it. If not for this upcoming weekend, the next week. So after the 3 weeks or so, I'm gonna be ready to take the next one in June when my benefits are up and running.
And it might also really
get vaxxed.
Yeah, and it might also be good, you know, if there's any chance of Atlanta Comic Con going off and we want to
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
being vaccinated would make me feel a lot better, you know, about doing it, you know. So
why not? Just to be out and about again. I mean, still I'll keep masks on the
for sure, but
I'll keep masks on me, but you know, other than that, I'll definitely be responsible and wave around my vaccine card, be like, yep. Let me in the club, B.
Vaxes, man. Yeah, no, you know, if there's a chance for Atlanta Comic Con to still go off this summer, which I think is crazy considering that San Diego, you know, the real Comic Con is being pushed back to October. The fact that they're even still trying to get it off, which I believe they will, because Atlanta has really kind of been open this whole time anyway, except for the Georgia Unemployment Office. But Atlanta's more or less been open, so I don't really see them stopping them. Really, I just feel like there's going to be like massive restrictions that they've probably been trying to work on. So I should be hearing something soon about that. So, well, no, who knows? We'll see what goes down with that. But being vaccinated makes me feel better about it, you know, overall. But anyways, also always joined by Geronimo, Mr. Nintendo.
What's good, y'all?
Future Mr. Vaccinated Poppy.
Yes, sir. AKA. Actually, I don't have any AKAs either. Oh well, let's keep it rolling. Glad to be here.
I had you as pollen poppy last week.
I saw, and
listen,
there's not quite as much pollen now.
I'm waiting for the day that I get a little more recognition for our title name, like our name cards, our you know, when those come up, like there's gems in there from time to time. You know, mine is always kind of silly. Y'all's tends to be normal unless there's something like last week. You know, I changed Ian's to vaccine poppy because, you know, we talked about the vax, and I changed, and because of that, I made mine gap tooth poppy, and then I made Gerard pollen poppy. Right.
That's right.
But like sometimes it might just be Gerard's that changes. You know what I mean? Like
I've noticed. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it might just be mine. So there might just be Ian's. You know what I'm saying? They might not always be audio engineer / super producer. You know what I'm saying? They might not always be that. It might be something goofy. You gotta I'm gonna get it though. One day y'all gonna see and y'all gonna be like, yo, this nigga Derek is hilarious, man. Watch. My time is coming, as they say.
One day.
I want to kick this episode off by shouting out to this new app. It's definitely out on iPhone already. The Black Sands Publishing is BSP if you go on the App Store on iPhone. It's Black Sands Entertainment. You can go. That's the name on Instagram, I believe. You can go on there and follow them there and check them out. But basically, they have some Black comics, a couple different ones, and they're all going to be on that app. And I don't know if maybe the overall goal is for them to try to bring in even more Black comic writers and stuff who, you know, want a place to, you know, publish their work. I don't know if that's their ultimate goal, you know, but at least these comics seem to be in-house. It's pretty cool that, you know, it's a free app. There isn't any like subscriptions or anything that I see at the moment. You can go on there and read, I think it's like 26 issues for free of the comic that they have up there. So I definitely just want to tell people, check that out. It's Black owned, Black comics. What more are you asking for? You know what I mean? Just go on there and check it out. You know, BSP, Black Sands Entertainment, Black Sands Comics, something like that. You'll they should come up for you. So that's really dope. And I know Dra said that on the Android store or the Google store, you have to pre-register right now.
Yep.
So I guess that's coming soon as well. I had pre-ordered, or I guess the equivalent of pre-registering for the app myself about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it just became available either Friday or Saturday, just in the last 2 days. So I'm guessing it's something similar happening with the Android app as well. But you know, maybe they just have to do something extra for them over there. It's just easier over here on the iPhone side. So
I think it is just easier overall.
But no shade to the Android folks. You're all loved as well. Even
I understand.
Even with your green messages, I still love you the same, Dra. That's why.
Hey, green's better than blue.
Big facts, man.
See,
Ian, what? Ian.
See, that's a man. That's a man that sees things objectively.
That's a man.
And blue bubbles is, whatever. You get tired of seeing them all the time. When you see a green, something special.
You see a green, man.
Ian, did you just say green? Ian,
you don't see me throwing shade at iOS.
Ian just say green better than blue, bro? Wow, bro. Yo, nah, you know they say niggas change. You know when they say niggas change. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't solid.
Messages, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate a green bubble every now and again.
Wow.
Lets me know my Android niggas are still out there, man.
All right, well, Crystal, when you hear this, ask who's sending them green messages in. All his friends got blue. Ask him. I'm gonna just
text Ian out. I'm gonna just text Ian and be like, I'll just be like, hey, yo, here's a green bubble for you. And that's it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate
they don't ever text. They talk on WhatsApp. Shout
out to the Android brethren.
Another app with green.
Keep it alive over there, man.
Nah, man. Ian don't got no friends that send him regular text messages with Androids. Any friend Ian got with Android is a WhatsApp friend. He's not getting them green text message bubbles. Unless they're green in WhatsApp. But that's different. I can accept that. There's multicolorless in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I rock with the WhatsApp.
Accept it because there's multiple colors.
Yeah, bro. If y'all messages would come in like orange sometimes, maybe.
Ooh, now that's worse.
Probably, but just a switch up. I don't know.
Back in the day, I used to have like different colors for y'all, man. I had specific colors.
That is the thing. Hey, I have different colors. That's the Android right now.
Yeah, man.
I forgot how you said it. Hey, there is a way to set it, but
well, make sure my shit blue when they come to you, bro. So you can.
I mean, you gotta text me first.
Pretend you know what it's like.
You got.
Well,
that's one thing I like about WhatsApp, though.
WhatsApp is just easier for shit. We be on there anyway. That's why I'm like,
yeah. No, one thing I wish WhatsApp had was because we used to use WeChat years ago in the old chat.
Oh, I remember. Oh my god.
Yeah,
y'all niggas made me download WeChat. I hate y'all, bro. Y'all be making me download all these bullshit ass apps. Y'all had me on WeChat, bro.
Hey, WeChat was decent, but WhatsApp's better.
We felt like a fucking child.
The only thing that WeChat did better is that you could set your background for every chat differently.
I remember that.
Either people or groups. Yeah, WhatsApp is just like, no, one for everything.
No, one for everybody.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
yeah, nitpicks, but it is what it is. But yeah,
for sure. Anyways,
I'll let y'all know how the Black Sands app looks and runs whenever it activates.
Sure. And I'll let y'all know how I feel about the comics. You know what I mean? I'll be honest. I'm sure they're fire though. They gotta be.
I will hope so because I've been seeing some off and on Twitter.
Give y'all a subscription situation for
Nah. Right now it's free. You just download it and you can read some comics for free. Sign up with your account or whatever, and they got like 26 issues free on there. You can read.
Oh.
I don't know. I assume that eventually it will come as their catalog builds, but right now it's early days. They just want you to try it out. So, it does kind of feel like a little video game you're playing on the app, though, like trying to read stuff. So I don't know. Check it out, man. It's cool, man. It's cool. Hopefully, we get to see more of the Black comics on there as well in the future. Other Black comics, maybe collabing with them to be on an app like that where we can just have a Black comic writers, Black comic book hub. That'd be really dope. Where you can read like the Tuskegee Airmen and stuff like that.
Man, I hope this is what this app is trying to do more so because I've been seeing whether it be some like Kickstarter or some type of funding like that for specific comics or black men or focus on a lot of black characters. And 100% I would love that. Not saying it should be excluding the larger apps or anything, but just an area to be a catch-all to read them all.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean, for sure. So that'll be really dope, man. Y'all keep an eye out for that. We don't have any technically speaking today, so we will jump right to our friend of the show, wife of the show. Drop this here somewhere. Right. Okay. Consulting. All right, let's start. I don't even know. Okay, because we can't. Okay, this is gonna force us to not go deep on this draw. Yeah, we can't. We have to stay surface level impressions.
Yes.
I have to hold you to that. You have to hold me to that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely. And you're probably a bit.
I'm further than you. I am
further for sure.
It's all right. Yeah, you can say it. You can say it.
There's no problem with it. I'm just trying to think of like I only played 2.5 hours.
You talking my shit. I got my ass.
He's like, I finally got one draw. Finally.
Facts. I bought Hades and draw was like, you haven't beat Hades 3 times yet, and I'm like, all right, nigga, suck my dick. So at least with Returnal.
I mean,
Returnal. I'm like, oh, you ain't got the house yet.
You're probably gonna be. Yeah, you've probably been through the. Okay, so.
No, I'm just playing. No. Returnal. We both got Returnal. But I've said this openly. Draw is the reason I bought this game.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Draw is 100% the reason I bought this game. We talked about the game for a while now, like really over the last year and a half.
Yeah, but I mean,
last E3 we talked about it. I think was it last E3 that or not E3? Last
E3 didn't happen last year.
No, yeah, State of Play. I mean,
State of Play. And they've been dropping some videos here and there, like combat and the world
we saw
or whatever.
Things, and it looked interesting, but I wasn't sold alone. But kind of in the last 2-3 weeks, Draws brought it back up, and we've been seeing everything, and we got more videos and more gameplay. And I was like, all right, I'm into this, man. Let me do this, man. Screw it. And I jumped Thursday night and said, you know what, I'm a pre-order. I'm definitely that guy. I'm the pre-order the day for the game come out guy and act.
No, I pre-order. Well,
I'm a flex like I had it for months. No,
I'm the person
day one. I pre-ordered that. I pre-ordered it 6 hours before it came out.
It makes sense to pre-order, digitally too, so you have everything downloaded and ready. Everything. It was ready at midnight, right? Like you have to
ready at midnight. Yeah, I ended up going to sleep, so I ended up not getting my real.
Most time I do that too. Whenever I'd be like, yo, midnight, I'm like, actually, I'm gonna get in bed and I'll play this tomorrow.
Yeah. and honestly, I'm glad I did because the concentration you kind of need to focus on.
Yeah.
It's this game takes so many elements from different stuff, and I again, no spoilers here, so you don't have to worry about anything if you're intending on playing the game. You've got like the Dark Souls element where the game don't really tell you shit. There's hints, it's kind of leading you down to kind of where to go, but the game doesn't really tell you shit because along the way there are other branching paths. Like I guess obviously Hades being my first roguelike game to play, there's not as much exploration. It's kind of you go into the room, clear the room out, and then you move to the next room and clear that room out, and and then maybe you find a healing room, whatever. There's way more exploration in this, and I don't know if there's other roguelikes that are like that already, but this having like there's just more room for you to maneuver. Excuse me.
Maybe Dead Cells. That's 2D. Okay. And single player 2D, and it's kind of Metroidvania-esque, kind of like how this one is kind of, or it can be played like a Metroidvania. This one, or if you just so far, if you just want to run through with whatever weapon you have and you're familiar with it, then you can just do that.
You kind of can, if you want to. If you don't want to do anything, if you're good enough with the weapon, you can just keep pushing forward and kind of get through. But there's different rooms, different branching things, and it's no different than anything else, right? Then like again, I'm gonna make a lot of my comparisons are Hades because that's just.
I will too. And it's the freshest. It's the most recent.
Yeah, exactly, the freshest thing.
Yeah.
But obviously you have like where Hades has like the boons and the not essences, but all those modifiers and stuff. It's the same thing here. You get consumables that you can use from time to time. You get you get some permanent things that stay with you forever. I don't think that's a spoiler. You get this melee weapon because there's a melee button from the jump, but there's no melee.
Yeah,
and I was pissed for like the first 2 hours because I was like, why is there a melee button, but I can't melee anything?
Yeah, because
I was just like, whatever. And then finally I found the melee weapon, which is a dope ass fucking weapon.
Yeah, so you've actually used it. Everything I've only used it to open the door, and that was it. But yeah, how I found out about a melee weapon was I was in the settings. You can remap all your controls, which is pretty cool. Because what I did, because to dash is circle, I made R1 dash.
Ooh, okay.
And that works a lot better for me. When it gets hectic, especially when the big dudes come in and trying to just end your life and everything. So that made it a bit easier for me to be able to move around and continue shooting and stuff like that. But yeah, the game oh, go ahead.
I wanted to say that when you just mentioned shooting, I don't think this is a spoiler either. I think this is just a really cool point that people should know. The way the game handles your primary and alternate fire is really dope, man. So let me grab my controller so we can show you. So when you're playing Returnal, right? Your primary fire, you can shoot without aiming down sights or anything with just pulling the R2 trigger. Then you pull it halfway, and Returnal it gives you the resistance at the halfway point, so you know where to stop if you don't pull it too hard. So you pull it halfway, and that's your primary fire. But if you pull it all the way, you get an alternate fire, and that can be changed over time. Different guns can, just at least as far as I've seen so far, there's 3 primary guns, and those guns could drop with a different alternate fire. So I've only seen 2 other ones that aren't the basic ones that are it's kind of like a bomb is the blast one. That's the basic one that most people have, but there's also a shockwave.
I've seen one where there's like a wider spread shot that can be decent if there's a bunch of dudes in front of you. You just need to clear them out or something. That kind of worked pretty well in a couple of cases for me.
But I think that is really a really crazy integration of the trigger. I didn't expect it, and it threw me off. It was hard for me to adjust because I'm so used to just aim down real quick and start shooting. And when you do that and there's nothing happening, because when you do it, if you've used your shot, it's just gonna make this like you got an empty gun sound, and you're just like, oh shit.
The trigger stuff is interesting,
and the feedback draw the
haptics. Finally, one, this is a full-fledged PS5 game, so they've built it around the system and everything. This is the first game since Astro's Playroom that's like,
I feel everything, every moment in like
it's really
every single fight, every single battle, even the ones that I know I'm gonna win, feel intense because I feel every moment. I feel every jump, land, everything. It's insane. And when you do it with your headphones, shout out to We the Hype. Okay. When you do it with your headphones, oh my goodness, bruh. Bruh. It's different. Even if I never beat this game because I suck at video games, it's worth my money and I'm impressed. I can tell you that confidently. The maneuvering is great. I know it's not as like free run Mirror's Edge as Gerard super loves, but you can sprint pretty well, right?
No, make no mistake. No, I actually enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
No. So
dash you can get after every it's great.
No. So no, I mean I do like my movement games. I think for how the rooms are designed and how the combat is and everything, I think the movement is great. Movement is like 2 things for me. It's how you interact with the controller and your character, and it also depends on the level design. So like you can have great movement ever, but if you just got random blocks here and there that doesn't really let you move about, I mean that kind of defeats the purpose, I would say. But yeah, this game I think nails both pretty well in that first area, the first little biome. I think they call them biomes, whatever, the first biome or whatever. Sprinting, like it's funny because when the lady, she's like kind of like a middle-aged woman. or whatever. But when the first time you sprint, she'd be booking. I'd be like, oh, okay, we moving. Okay, we got somewhere to go. We got
a little speed to her. And you know what's crazy? I didn't even realize how to fully sprint. I was just pushing the L, like you're just pushing the controller forward. So at first I was like, damn, she don't really move that quick. I wish she moved a little faster. Oh, my bad. And then I realized all I gotta do is click down a little bit, and she took off. I said, oh, okay, we in there. And I, you know what's crazy? I was watching your stream. I wanted to the things that grab you and pull you up. I was gonna tell you how to like utilize them, but I was like, nah, let them figure it out. But
yeah, the first time, because you know it was crazy. One room I went in. Okay, so I'll paint a picture for Ian as well. So so the areas are really dark, and there's like tentacly things. There's some plant things everywhere, and there's some plants that like light up and interact with you. If you walk by, they don't do anything, just interact. Like, oh, you're near me, light up, whatever. There are these like dark reddish black tendrils that be hanging around some parts, and if you go by them, they'll just grab you and pull you up, and your character will be like, but then you realize, oh, I mean, if you let it keep pulling you up, it'll just hurt you, then drop you. I think is what it does. But if you utilize that, there are like some ledges higher up, and you can just dash forward and gets like a chest or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. At least in this first area.
No, because it seems like something that's it makes you felt like the first time it happens to you. And even though I'm saying this, I'm telling you it will not ruin the experience when it happens. Because it takes you so off guard, the way it looks, the way it feels, the way the controller reacts. You literally will you're instantly going to panic. Like it makes you go, what the fuck is happening? And you want to like fight your way out. And you're like, what was that? Then you start to realize like, oh, wait, I didn't get hurt. And then you're like, well, how do I? And then you're, oh, okay. And the game is, they designed it really well, man. They did a great job in it. It's not, I don't want to call it jump scares, but it has this horror feel to it. You know what I mean?
Give it a jump scare.
It's not jump, but it's like there's just these moments of like
eerie feeling. Yeah. The game is great playing with headphones. Like it's intense, really good. Man. The sound. Eventually, I would say check it out because I think you will really appreciate the sound design in the game. Yeah. It has some of the best because like. Not only when like what was it? I was shooting one of the guns. I think it was like the assault rifle weapon, and I think there's a thing. I don't know if they call it, but they have a thing where I think sometimes the bullets will ricochet, and the the ricochet, like the first time, not the first time, it was one of the times I was shooting. I just cleared out a room when I kill a dude, and I when it ricocheted, the echoey synth noise it made just sounded kind of crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Like if you look at my video, there's probably a time where I just sit there and shoot again, and I'm like, yo, it sounds so crazy. But yeah, sound design is really like good.
I know it sounds like we're like on a hype train right now, but this game is really worth gushing over, to be honest. It genuinely is.
Visuals are good.
That's how I like
solid performance. Like the game itself runs really well. Ian's like, don't. Hey, no, man. I'm sure
Ian about to hop off Ian about to go on his phone right now.
Saying he probably did already. He probably off screen. He's just like phone like.
It is.
Man, I'm gonna hold out.
I would definitely say hold. I always say hold out because even though we're talking about it excitedly now. Whenever you do get to one, I'll probably still be playing.
We'll be just as excited. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Excited. Yeah, it's not gonna be like, that's all hat, bro. Why you playing?
I'm gonna be just as excited to hear how you get through it the same way because I was in the Discord and I was real interested to hear Gerard. I was like, damn, why I forget his name off the top of my head just now.
Andrew.
Andrew just picked it up, and I'm interested to see how far he gets, and how he works through it because he's used to playing these games like that. You know what I mean? Like
Andrew, he probably beat the game already, man.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't worth 70. Yeah, it was a 6-hour game.
He's super good at roguelikes and stuff, man. I've watched his streams of Binding of Isaac. Was it last year? It was like last year and like the year before, about a year and a half. Man, he just chews through those games. I'm just like,
man.
I mean, you'll have those runs where he gets kind of slapped. He just don't have a good weapon turn. It's like whatever. But I've seen him go to the end, and be like, "Oh man, that was a good run. I'll do another one." I'm like, Okay. Shout out to Andrew though. I'll definitely hit him up about it. Maybe this week.
Sometime. Yeah, man. Definitely want to see. I'm always curious to see how people get through, and I basically just want to know if I did better than you.
You probably did. Honestly, you probably
how long
did.
did it take? Well, Gerard's in a special case because you had that, the issue. I was going out and stuff like that. So I'm not knocking you for real. Like I'm just really just
that still upsets me.
But Ian gonna probably turn his power off. Hey, babe, go cut the breaker, man. Just so I can tell this nigga I want power.
As a matter, since we there, I'll talk about a few things I don't really like about it so far. There's nothing that like is this game's trash. It's more like so we gotta talk about the checkpoints or the lack of checkpoints and saves. So when you do a run, you can pause the game, but you can't like quit out and save. Like you pretty much have to like put your console in rest or something like that. And I'm sure Derek, you've done that. I'm sure you've done that at least once, right?
I've done it a couple times. Yeah.
Okay,
where I've stopped my run. The benefit for me is I haven't had any of the problems. Nothing's happened to me yet. So I've been able to come back every time and pick my runs up where exactly where I was and finish them.
That's good.
Well,
that's good.
Die. I said finish them as if I beat the game, right?
So, right.
I die.
Get farther.
I get to a new room and then get smoked.
Yeah.
But there are just some puzzles in this game that are just crazy. And if you miss, it's almost like, shit, how do I get back? And maybe dying is the only way. But the one issue I did have was I was in the middle of a run, so it didn't bother me that much. I ended up I put the game in rest mode. Yeah, I put the game in rest mode. But I was still in the hub room, the first room that where nothing's happening basically. And for some reason when I came back to that, it wasn't giving me any of my like the pop-ups. It wasn't giving me like, it wouldn't let me go out the room. The door wasn't opening. There was nowhere for me to go. The game had like kind of glitched. That was the only thing that happened to me. I restarted it and I jumped right back in and it was no problem. Now that didn't bother me again because I wasn't in the middle of a run. It's not like I was 10 rooms deep and I just it wasn't anything like that. But that was it was the glitch. It was a glitch that I saw. So I know it happens. You know what I mean? So that is an issue with people putting consoles in rest mode. And I've seen this happen in other games. I've told you about my issues with 2K before, with it wiping like my character model and stuff like that, potentially wiping stats, or not having the most up-to-date save data anymore. That's happened to me all with PS5, and there's some sort of issue, and I know Sony knows about it, and I'm assuming that eventually they will address it. Sony knows about these issues with putting rest mode. There are problems, and so eventually they'll have to address this because it's not going to go on forever. But that being said, it is a little bit annoying. I do think they
need to have like at least one save per run, at least.
They could have a checkpoint area where you reach a certain point and this is a checkpoint for you to come back in the event that your game crashes or something. Not that you die, but that your game crashes or you are in rest mode and there's an update or something. There should be a point you can reach, because I can understand. If you only get 2 or 3 rooms in and you die, you didn't need a checkpoint. Like, you know what I mean?
Or whatever.
You didn't need a checkpoint there. You didn't get that far. Like, I mean, unfortunately, maybe the way the rooms were going to set up that time might have been ideal. But other than that, you're not missing anything.
I think what they want to do, I think what they're trying to do is circumvent reloading cloud saves. I think that's I think that's why they designed it like that. But at the same time, like you said, like, different things can happen. Like my situation, exactly. I played for almost 2.5 hours, stopped right before the house, power outage overnight apparently, and I didn't realize it until I was talking to another friend, who hopefully is on the separate recording, separate episode.
Yeah, we're gonna dive deeper into Returnal in a separate one.
And I was like, let me turn this on, and the shit was not glowing orange. It was dark. I was like, oh no. So my whole run was done. It was gone. But what I think they should do, maybe they should have like per run, like have maybe one save, and then you can like load it back or something. Like once you use it, it's gone or something like that. Instead of doing multiple, at the very least, that option. I think
you can save it somewhere. Like you're saying so you're saving, you can save it somewhere, but then if you ever once you load that save again, that save gets deleted, so you can't load, so you start at this point. Okay, all right, that'd be a cool way to do it.
Yeah,
I'd
like
be
press
okay with
start
that.
and it's right there. Hit quick. I don't know, call it a quick save or some shit. I don't know what everyone call it. Do something else and come back to it.
I guess my thing is, on one level, I do understand it because, like you said, like your situation was just really unfortunate.
Yeah, just the power. That's that you can't predict that. It just happened.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do like the idea that it does make you sit down and say, do I have time to play this today? Am I really dedicating myself to this? Or am I just going to turn it on, get through 2 or 3 rooms, then throw it in rest mode and go do something else and then come back? And for me, at least in small doses, rest mode is never an issue. So like, say I'm here playing the game and I'm playing rest mode, I'm probably 5-8 rooms deep now. And then maybe I want to go get something to eat, or I need to talk to Ashley or whatever. I put my stuff in, I put it in rest mode for a second and I come right back. Or even if I don't put it in rest mode, I just pause the game and just leave it there. My console will put itself in rest mode if I'm gone too long, but typically I'm not, because I've set aside the time to play the game specifically. Like I'm playing Returnal and there's no intention. I'm playing till I die. Then if I want to take a break or I had something I want to do, I'll try to do it then. I just wonder if maybe, there isn't something to be said for that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, are you sitting down to play Returnal? Like, hey, don't just turn it on and not be able to keep going if you're having a good run. Like, if plan for a good run, you could be going for 2-3 hours. So they know that when you start it up. I like that, but I do think like you said, because the potential for these freak situations to happen, that one save rule I think is definitely.
I mean, that's just kind of that's one nice thought idea I kind of had. It's kind of like a shower thought, just kind of like, right. I mean, how can they implement a save that doesn't compromise how they want the game's design to be? Right. Yeah, because I mean, clearly. They did that. They don't want you to purpose.
Keep looping it on this one thing until you finally figure it out. Like, I mean, my thing is, I wouldn't play the game like that anyway, But I understand.
Usually, for a game like that, I'm sitting there to commit. Really, very rarely will I be like, okay. Unless it's like Hades. Where Hades says like per room it saves. Like it doesn't like save where unless you just press home and turn the switch off. That's quick and easy. But like if you want to stop and play, I don't know, Mario Kart or whatever, you can do that. But yeah, and the only other thing I kind of it's more of a nitpick, I would say. And it took me a while to realize that this is how the reload works. So the reload has like what do you call it? Active reload system, kind of like Gears of War. I like it. And no, it's cool. No, I don't have a problem with it. It's just like especially when you get the higher fire rate weapons, especially when things get hectic, it's a little harder to notice you're out of ammo. And so I don't know, I would kind of wish there was like a noise or a better visual cue to say like, yo, it's time to reload. I agree with
that. They could do that. I've just gotten so accustomed to counting shots. Like, I've got it down. I've just got it down to rhythm now. Like that's all I did. I just made it rhythm. That's
kind of like started
assault rifle. The hand cannon is easy because it's
the pistol. Yeah, the pistol's easy to keep.
12 shots. You got 12 shots. Boom, 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 boom. Get your 12 off, and then it's got a bigger reload box. So 12 shots, and then it's like it's like a second you wait, and then you hit R2 and you're right back into your shots. And you might have supercharged your alternate fire too in doing that. So the pistol's easy. The assault rifle and the little shotgun is easy too. It's just the shotgun.
6 shots.
It needs exactly 6 shots. Boom, 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 and you right back into it. Yeah. The assault rifle is a little bit harder to count, but
especially out the little notches.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it looks cool, but it's just
if you just get into a rhythm, bro. I'm telling you, you'll just keep doing it. The issue is that you can't always. If you could pick what weapon you start with, and you could always do it, it'd be easier to gain that rhythm. But like, I got lucky. I got lucky on like 3-4 runs back to back. I kept getting the assault rifle early, and I just got into a rhythm.
Yeah, like my 4th run, that was when like I actually got decent like health. what they call integrity. I think they call health. Yeah, the integrity boost. I got a couple of those, so my health bar extend over a bit. Yeah. And I actually was like, okay, I was paying attention to the reload, and Ian as well. So how it works is like you have your reticle and you're shooting. Once it ends, the reload line comes across the reticle, but there's like a little square in the middle. And once you press, once you press R2 in that square, then
it's your fire button. The same
thing. Yeah, it's the fire button.
That's why it's just a rhythm. Like as you're shooting, you shoot, and then you wait that second, and then hit your shoot button again while it's in that box, and then you're right back into shooting again. No break. You can keep going. Yeah. They call it like your over.
They give you a trophy for doing the first. I don't know what you call it. Like immediately. It's the really perfect good. Reload, whatever. Perfect, no, it's good. It's just kind of like I'm still learning things about the game.
I do think it's a learning curve though. It's a skill game.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. Yep.
I like it though.
Yeah. So So overall, the feel is eerie. Sound design's really good. The gameplay wise, it controls well. I know there's some that are having crashing issues, but I don't think that's a game issue. Yeah, that might be a PlayStation 5 thing. I've only noticed because even my Borderlands 3, the PS5 version, it just would crash sometimes. Even if I'm playing solo, fuck your farming. I'm just gonna close the game for you real quick, and know. And the only other time I had a rest issue was the one time I loaded Miles Morales PS5 after I downloaded it, and that was a while back. But I think that might be just a larger PS5 issue, and I think it's more sporadic depending on who it's happening to. Yeah. I don't know if it's a physical issue, a digital issue. The only person I know in person that's having it's digital, but I don't think it's because of the digital thing. Because Derek got digital, and yours is running perfectly fine, right? Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Wood.
Yeah, I've been all right.
Yeah. Overall, I'm enjoying it though. I'm definitely looking at it. I'll be streaming it and getting into it later on today at this recording. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I might do the same. I might hop on stream too and you let y'all show me.
Hey, at the very least, we look back and be like, damn, that's how I fucked up, or like that's how I died.
True. Yeah, be like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, but yeah, stay tuned. Well, hopefully we'll do a deeper dive on Returnal. I guess the last thing I'll say is, there is a very good reason in this game why you're constantly going through the same thing or seemingly going through the same thing, and you keep returning. It is explained very well. I think this is the reason they give you is very good, because like we mentioned, we were talking before the podcast, but like in Hades, it's obviously built in, right? He's the son of a god, you know what I mean? Like he's not gonna really die. He's just gonna go back. He's the son of the god of the underworld, you know what I mean? The underworld and shit. Like he's obviously going to keep coming back, you know what I mean? So that makes sense. But for this random white woman to just be coming back again and again after she keeps dying is like, what the hell? So it's really cool how it's explained to you. And honestly, if you pay enough attention, now that I've played the game, if you pay enough attention to the trailers, it's kind of obvious, but without giving anything away. Yeah, it's a really good reason just for that. So that's really cool. That and the house.
All right, yeah, the house. That whole house seems so damn spooky. I was just kind of because it just appears, and she's like, "Kids, oh, that shouldn't be here." And I was like, and then literally right before you walk in, there's like there's audio logs around the rooms, and one was it just told some context of the house, and I was like, spooky.
Yeah, you trust me. Yeah, it creates that vibe for you for sure.
Okay.
All right, I think we just sold Ian on this game enough. He's definitely buying it tonight at some point. He has no self-control.
Make sure you use the Cash App thingy or whatever
until this Friday. So
yeah, right. All
right. Finish
on Sunday.
All right. Well, yeah, finish up with your current.
He ain't gonna come back here. I don't know why y'all made me buy this game. This shit trash. Contrarian.
Man. I think
it would be hilarious if that was the case. Though. If you hate this game,
it's like, bro, I beat it already, man. What was I tripping about?
What y'all talking about?
I ran through the shit. Y'all over here looking at doors and whatnot.
Yeah, man.
Ian put in the secret cheat code for easy mode.
Right.
Easy the secret cheat code.
The win
jump right to the end.
I would never, man. I would never.
Use the PS5 help cards.
Never figure out how to use that one up. let this nigga know I'm playing on easy mode. I would never say it to them. I would
not never tell y'all.
Wildest
Even if I did it, I'm not telling you. I'm lying. I'm lying to you. Yeah, oh man. Okay. All right. All right. Now something Ian can talk about. Ratchet and Clank. We got to see a lot more of that game in the state of play. Do y'all care about the other two games from the state of play? Because I don't.
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with them. They're not bad.
We can mention them. Subnautica. I mean, that was an interesting choice. Sure. I mean, Subnautica, it's getting, I guess, getting a PS5 update. I know they have the prequel coming out, Below Zero or something like that. I know Patrice likes those games, or the first one.
Okay.
And then they just confirmed Among Us for PlayStation. So cool. It's on everything now. It's on all the consoles. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's gonna have like a Ratchet and Clank costume.
Skin or whatever, right?
Yeah, just a little Wombac's ears, and that's it.
That's cool.
That's it. That's really it. So
yeah. So all right. So then we get to see Ratchet and Clank. We got to see more of the game. We got to really meet Chick Ratchet. His name is Rivet. I think it was really good the way they showed us this game, because before they even got to the gameplay, they were like, this is in game, and it just looked amazing.
Yeah,
like
this
just,
is not
they were just walking around like, this is the game.
Is in the game. I was like,
this is the game. I was like,
man,
like jaw drop. Like, and from playing, obviously I played. And did you play the Ratchet and Clank when they gave it for free, the last one?
No.
I played that I really just downloaded out of boredom. I was like, you know what? I remember playing Ratchet and Clank before. I liked it a little bit, but I never really, dive deep into it. I never played the sequels or anything. I was like, let me play this one. And I dived into that and I loved it. And I was like, man, if this game had some updated controls and graphics, this would be amazing. And so obviously that, I was interested in Rift Apart, but I was never like a day one at all. No way. When I played the 2016, I think it is, Ratchet and Clank, based off the movie or whatever, I was like, wow, I actually enjoy this way more than I remember enjoying it. And that, like, I was like, okay, I'm super interested. And that made me like pay way more attention. And now I'm like, I'm fighting myself not to pre-order it like now. Yeah, I'm like, but I'm definitely gonna probably end up being a night before pre-order on this. You know what I mean? But yeah, it looks great, bro. Like,
it looks fantastic. It looks vibrant as hell. So many details everywhere in this big area. It's just wow. I think the one thing that might trip me up and annoy me a little bit is the whole pulling through the rift thing. I could see that being it watching it felt disorienting a little bit.
I mean, they've been pretty open about that. I think it's going to be a little disorienting, but I wonder if we'll get used. I think we'll get used to it. I think it's something you just adjust to it after, a couple playthroughs, and you're like, all right, cool. But it might really wow you the first couple times you're really doing it on your screen,
Yeah.
I mean, it looked great, man. It looked like Ratchet and Clank still, a lot, just way more textures and details, and character models look great.
Yes.
I mean, I can't say enough about it, man. It convinced me.
Man.
Yeah, man. And I wait for Gerard to get back to fully ask this, but kind of putting some pressure on the Xbox guys, right? I mean, you just heard us gush over Returnal. That's PS5 exclusive.
Those exclusives are hitting.
And now here comes Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And I told y'all already that God of War is coming July 11th. So, and then Horizon August 15th.
August 15th.
So,
like, what are they gonna do? Oh man,
they better get Scalebound back in production or something, my nigga. I don't know what is going on over there at Xbox. I know they just got Bethesda and all this yada yada yada. The Liverpool game is good. Y'all see me wearing my jersey today because it's Liverpool, but the game's been postponed because they ran onto the field and like destroyed shit. I don't know. Anyways, man. Sony's knocking it out the park right now. Ratchet Clank looks great. Amazing. Yeah. The gameplay looked great. It looks smooth. I think that the rift jumping stuff, I think it will be disorienting, like you said, but I do think we'll adjust to it. Like, I really think it won't be. I think we'll be all right with it. Like I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely probably gonna be an adjustment period, and then followed by how to best
use it. Yeah,
utilize the
Ratchet
jumps.
and Clank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a boy from it. If you're still talking about the state of play, I mean, I've already been sold
Ratchet
on
and
the
Clank,
game.
yeah.
I've already been sold on the game. That was just kind of like icing. It's just like, all right, that continues to look great. We'll see you in June 11th. That's really what y'all was.
Yeah, y'all got one. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Insomniac carrying Sony brand right now, PlayStation brand, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. They're the golden child right now for
I think they're kind of the best right now.
Definitely knocking shit out of the park, man. Okay, cool. Now into a movie I haven't seen, Mortal Kombat.
Spoiler. Get over here. So the movie's, to me, it's decent. There's definitely some problems. The plot stuff is, so the plot kind of goes back and forth. It's like they kind of try and lean into some of the lore and all that, the actual tournament.
Yeah.
But the other time, just like, this main character, I don't really care for him. Like, if he doesn't come back in the sequel, which I'm 99% sure is gonna be a sequel, I would not mind if he was just completely gone. But other than that, like some of the fight scenes, some of them are short and sweet. Some of them, like the Sub-Zero and Scorpion ones, were good. When they went really graphic on stuff, they went really graphic.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Like, so I know some actual classic, like, Mortal Kombat act stuff, like the fighting and some jabs. And Kano was hilarious. I think Kano was like the best character. Kano was one of the best characters.
Yeah, he probably was. He definitely.
Yeah, that dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it was decent. I know a lot don't like the movie just because they say, it doesn't really, it's too corny, or the main character's annoying. I mean, they gave him his, they kind of did the thing like, once you have the Mortal Kombat mark, you have your ability and all that, and you have to kill the other person to claim that mark and to get an ability. Jax was cool. It's curious how they got how his arms built up. But when he had his one scene, he did the hand, he just punched a shot him, he did the hand clap. I was like, okay, cool. So they did that from the game. So yeah. So there's things to like about it. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement. I think I'm willing to see the other next movies when they do sequels. They tease Johnny Cage at the end. Spoilers. I mean, it's been like a week or some change. But
I dropped the spoiler. I'll put the spoiler drop, I guess, for it. But
yeah, they tease Johnny Cage at the end. He's not in the movie. I mean, there's certain people I wish were in the movie. Like, I think this movie would have benefited from like Baraka. We got Mylena. I'm a little mixed on Mylena in this, only because I wish it was more of her, because I think the chick that played her did a great job in the couple of scenes she got. It's just, man, I just wish there was more. That's kind of the thing.
2 or 3 lines, and then it was over with her.
Yeah,
she died so fast.
She did die really fast, but it's Mortal Kombat. Everyone dies, and everyone comes back, so I'm not really worried about that stuff. And I'm just kind of talking about, I guess they want to utilize their budget in certain parts. So I think that's why the fight scenes were kind of shorter, or the duration of the fighting in those scenes were shorter, I would say. Yeah. Goro looked good. The Cabal looked good, surprisingly. I don't know, I wasn't expecting to see Cabal in this, but yeah, Cabal was cool. Kano's, they went for a little different take with him, instead of just having robotic part, and then he just had Scar from Reptile, and then he later got the laser eye. Kung Lao was dope, but he died. He's like one of the only good guys to like die, which sucked. But he, his frisbee hat was really cool. He had a really good fatality where there's one, I don't even know who that flying Banshee character was. I don't know if she was just an original character from the movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where she like came up with
what's that man's name?
Shung. I'm really bad at some of the names too.
Yeah, she flew through and caught the biggest L of her life.
Yeah, her whole life. Her whole life, yeah, like basically come out of the thing where like he throws his hat on the ground.
Yeah, creates a saw and then
she just saw her whole body through it in half, and it was brutal, but it was great.
And all I wanted from this movie was a better graphics. Honestly, like the CGI just needed to be improved to me.
I think it was good for what it was. It was definitely some parts.
I thought it was like, you know.
You mean in comparison to the old ones?
In comparison to the old ones, I was like, this Mortal Kombat, the old Mortal Kombat was cool to me. All it needs is updated CGI, and that's what I got in this movie. I'm like,
you got exactly what you were expecting.
Exactly what I mean. I didn't want any more. I knew the story was gonna be trash. I knew it was gonna be mostly action.
Yeah.
So what? It's more. Isn't that
what you want? Yeah. I feel like the reaction to this that I saw online was the same as like the Godzilla versus Kong stuff. It's like, it's a monkey and a giant lizard. What are you like?
I'm not sure.
What do you want? What do you want?
All those kaiju movies, I'm there to see big ass monsters give other big ass monsters the hands. I'm trying to see mouth lasers. I'm trying to see laser beams. I'm trying to see getting fucking uppercut, throw buildings on people, throw people on buildings. That's all I'm trying to see.
Not everything got to be a Snyder cut, man.
Pacific Rim really fucked these niggas up, man. That's what it is.
I think that is what it is. And
Pacific Rim had a good story with kaiju fights and shit, and they was like, this has to be everything now.
Yeah,
and it's like,
part of the studio that did, or I think it was Lionsgate or whatever. I think who did Pacific Rim did this one. Godzilla and Kong. Yeah, I don't know who are people who did Mortal Kombat movie.
I don't know, man. Listen, man. Every generation needs a Super Mario Brothers movie, man. You understand? Like, you gotta have like it's okay, bro. It doesn't. Yeah. Every movie
we're
don't
for one now.
Every
Nintendo's working on one,
but
it's gonna be animated. That's Illumination though. It's gonna be fully animated.
So
Nintendo.
We need live action.
3D animated or
live action. Oh no, I don't want.
We need the live action Super Mario Brothers. You never seen. I know, Ian, you've seen that.
I've seen it. No, everyone's seen it once. Unfortunately, I've rented it as a kid from Blockbuster and was like, "Yeah, man, Mario," and I was like,
"Why did I watch this?"
I don't understand what's happening.
But that's what I was. What did I expect from a Super Mario Brothers movie? Like, come on, bro. It's terrible.
I see what they tried to do with that movie back in the day. It was supposed to be like this other universe supposed to be the King Koopa was supposed to be his evil, like mob boss corporation thing. No Peach, but Daisy is in it.
Yeah,
that surprised the fuck out of me back then.
Come on, man. It's a come on, man. Like, come on. I don't know. I think people do expect maybe a little too much from video game movies sometimes.
I think maybe it's just because the properties, these are all gaming source type movies. Gaming is just much larger now.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat is just really, Mortal Kombat is its own thing compared to other fighting games, like outside of Smash, like all the Tekkens and Street Fighters and all that. It's a lot different as far as like movements and stuff. But it's just bigger now. It's more popular here in like the Americas. So maybe that's kind of the thing where people are just expecting more.
Right.
And then there's some diehard fans who are like, no, this movie trash. I've seen people just be like, oh, this movie's an abomination. If you hate it, then there's something wrong with you. I'd be like, no, I find joy in some crappy movies, so you just need to relax.
It happens, man.
It happens. It's not the best movie ever, but I do think there's some fun in the movie. Now,
that's what's up. Y'all got ratings for it?
It's hard to rate movies like this because, like,
I would give it.
What am I rating it against?
How did it make you feel?
Out of a 10 ranking?
Out of a 10, how did it make you feel?
I watched it twice.
You don't gotta compare it to nothing. Weekend. Just
I'd give it like a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
And this is out of a 10, obviously 10. I'm not like great. This is like the old school 10 rating, not like new school games. 7 is average and everything.
Oh no.
I'm doing 10 is classic. 0 is there's not even a movie here. Why to watch it? 5 middle of the road. Purely, that's how I think. I think it's an average movie.
I can agree with that. 5.
Is that not how we're always?
No, I just say that because at least I like. I don't really follow movie ratings. Those are all 5-star. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't care about those. I look at it out of 10 exactly like that. That's how I always look at it when we say out of 10. If I think something's a 7 out of 10, it's not because it's like average. I feel like that's above average.
See, when I do a rating out of 10, I think of all the other movies that I've rated and what I rate those and where this movie falls in that. You know what I mean?
That's fair too. I understand that.
So yeah, I think 5 would be a solid rating for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about what I expected. 5 or 6 is.
I'm probably.
I figure if you're like a huge fan, you'd probably get it to a 6 because you saw your favorite character maybe or something like that. But 5 is about what I was expecting. So I don't know what people.
I think it met my expectations. It didn't exceed anything. It wasn't lower. It just was okay. That's more or less what I was expecting. Yeah. I watched it twice in the same weekend, so people would be like, "Oh, did you see it? What?" I mean, it wasn't like planned. It was more like I was over at some friend's place. And they're like, "Oh, let's watch it," and I was like, "I'm here, bet, let's do it." And then we watched Kong Godzilla the same night too, because they all on HBO Max. So why not?
And that's also was fantastic. Like, you know, it was just there.
It's just there. Max. Yeah, I mean they're gonna leave in like I think within a month or so, but watch it while we got it.
They just sent like last chance to watch Godzilla versus Kong.
Little snack. Crystal was sleeping. Cut it on Friday and enjoyed myself, man.
Yeah, exactly. Take advantage while we got it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We also got a first look at CW's Naomi.
Yes.
I just forgot the actress's name.
I did too.
I just had it pulled up.
We're all looking it up.
Yes.
First, let's spell actress correctly in Google. All right. Casey Wallfall.
Yes. Wallfall is her last name. I remember that.
Casey Waffle, not Waffle. Wallfall.
It's Wallfall. It's not
Wallfall, like
Wallfall. Yes.
WALFALL. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she looks really good in her in the suit. Well, not the suit. I'm sorry, she's not in the suit, but she's just dressed up like Naomi. She's wearing like a short sleeve shirt, like a crop top, and I don't know if it looks some pants or a skirt or something. I'm not really 100% sure. She got some little like braids, and they're in like a little knot. I think she looks cool, man. I think she looks good.
I need to read this comic, man.
And man, if I read it, then you should read it.
Yeah, but you want my DC Infinite login, bro? So you can read it.
Oh, it's on there. Yeah. Let me get that off you, man.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, but I think she looks good, man. I think she looks cool.
I agree. Yep. They dug it. They nailed that Naomi #1 cover.
Yep.
Since she's very, very new and very, very fresh, so everyone's gonna at least know this cover.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think it's good. I think it's good. Like I said,
Step one complete.
DuVernay. Yeah, for sure. Complete. I believe in Ava DuVernay, and I just hope that they can get a really good story on that CW budget without ruining it for her character and being able to showcase some of her true power. They can at least push the budget to that. I don't care if the rest of the show, all the teenage drama stuff that's going to happen, they can put all that low budget. But when she gets powers, I need that to be HBO Max level.
It's powers. CW on YouTube TV. By chance, do you know?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I have no clue.
I can look right now. Hold up. Wait.
No, I do find it interesting looking at this one page, DCComics.com. Apparently, that's what I'm looking at.
Yes, it is. CW69.
Yeah. But yeah, looks like
I didn't make that. I said it.
Giggity. I'm an adult. I pay taxes, so I'm going to chuckle at 69 jokes. It's whatever. But no, I was going to say I find it interesting they kind of went with this kind of blue color get up, at least with the image that they're showing here, versus she's kind of. I mean, I guess it's kind of all for the cover. It's like it looks like the tan jacket she's wearing, black ripped jeans. I'm just curious they went with this clothing decision. I'm no clothing. What do we call it? Costume. No, none of those type of people. None of those are my wheelhouse. I just find it curious they did that. So whenever they do show like a clip or however that.
I did think they were going to give her like a more like a standout jacket because that's what she's wearing in the comics so far mostly until she gets her suit.
Yeah.
So I was surprised they didn't give her like, and maybe they'll change it. Like maybe she'll put on like the jacket. I don't know. I mean, to be fair though, like I said, she's a fresh character. She's a new character.
Yeah. So they can kind of.
Anything I'm saying is that the jacket isn't like a defining characteristic of hers.
It's not.
For 20 years. There's 6 episodes and she had a jacket. So I relate that, but I don't think it's a defining thing. So
no, it's not.
I just look at it as like, yeah, they can have a little freedom with it.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from just the character itself.
As long as it's still a good story and they showcase her powers, I'll be fine. So yeah, man, Naomi, that's dope. Y'all
we'll continue to talk about it as we learn more things.
Yes,
we're laser focused on how this turns out.
I am. Yeah, for sure.
Surprised.
We also have a new Netflix series, Yasuke.
Yes.
That came out on Thursday. I binged that Thursday. I watched the first episode that morning, then I binged the rest of it in the afternoon. 6 episodes.
Okay,
6 episodes. They're all about 30 minutes apiece.
Can knock it out in like a few hours.
It's really quick. But it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I will say, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you it's the perfect anime. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you it's the best anime ever. But I feel like it is enjoyable. There's a lot of action in it. I feel like the story is pretty. It's not like
it's straightforward, kind of sort of showing anime-esque. Not like in that teenage, oh man, I'm gonna girl be the best. No, nothing like that. It's just kind of like, it shows Yasuke, African samurai. I was kind of surprised to they had Nobunaga in there too, from that era of feudal Japan trying to take over and everything. Everyone's like, oh man, what's a black samurai gonna be able to do? He's just black. He's not, historically Japan.
That's a big thing.
They're very into their own nationalist type of views. Like any outsiders are just beneath them and stuff like that. Lakeith Stanfield voiced him. He did a good job. I heard him at time. Oh, go ahead, Derek.
I will say about that, right? I've heard mixed reviews, and it didn't bother me personally. But some people, because Lakeith Stanfield voiced him. But when you watch the show, you also know for a fact it's Lakeith Stanfield.
You can just hear him. Yeah.
If you know Lakeith Stanfield and you've seen his movies or show, whatever, it's Lakeith Stanfield very clearly. So for some people that bothered them, it might have thrown them off. They didn't like it. Me personally, it was fine. I thought it was cool. But you can it's not like he did some amazing voice acting thing. You're like, this is Lakeith? Like, no, it's like, oh.
I think in the first few episodes were we just had some kind of talking kind of quietly and stuff during that arc, I would say, telling that story. Yeah, it was definitely a lot of Lakeith, just straight up, like it just sounded like it's him just talking.
You can hear him.
And I'm like in the booth and you sitting next to them, something like that. But like later on, when it gets to the more heavy anime-esque stuff that goes on with the action, he gets more direction. The character gets more direction. Kind of hear more of that character, Yasuke, do his thing. So I'll say that.
But I enjoyed the black actor who did the Japanese dub of it, right?
There's an actual Japanese.
Yeah, there is, and
I watched it all English.
I did too, yeah. But there's a black dude who also voiced Yasuke in Japanese.
Oh, that's good. I
wanted to watch that too.
That's props.
I was gonna rewatch it in that as well. I think it's on Netflix the same way.
Or likely, yeah. Probably just a toggle. But since the default is English, that's cool. Who did this show? LaShawn Thompson, I think dude's name.
Yeah, LaShawn Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, I respect him for going out and because there's definitely black folks that can speak Japanese, whether they were born in Japan or they at least learned the language and the culture. So that's good they went out there and did that because it goes a long way.
Yeah,
I thought that was dope. Yeah, so that's cool. I'll definitely come back and check out how it sounds in the Japanese dub. But yeah, overall, like all soundtracks done by Flying Lotus, which is cool. It's really cool. This whole project is pretty cool, just because it's like, I don't know, it just feels like it takes a lot from the vibes of some other stuff like Samurai Champloo and things like that.
Afro Samurai,
yes.
Afro Samurai. The intro to this show is goated already.
It's a vibe. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. That's probably gonna be like one of my top listening songs of the year on like Spotify. I do the whole year roundup. So you listen to this a lot. So yeah, song is great. The whole soundtrack is good. It's on streaming service. It's called Yasuke, by the way, for anyone that wants to check it out. It sounds For me,
Yasuke.
Yes. Why? Yes. Yeah. Thanks for spelling. Yeah. The soundtrack is very reminiscent. It's like a mixture of newer stuff Flylo's done, but it definitely has more of an older, like for listeners that are like long time fans, and for y'all as well. It sounds like a mixture of like stuff he's on like the Cosmogramma albums, some of the stuff on LA, the Los Angeles album. It kind of sounds like that era stuff of a mixture of some things from the newer albums too. But overall, it's really good. So how'd you like the animation and stuff?
I would say I thought it was dope. I thought there are some scenes that I guess I wish maybe you could tell if they had like a bigger budget, could have been maybe a little more epically done. But overall, I was okay with it. I thought it was really good, especially with all the different type of powers and stuff that were on display. I thought they did a pretty decent job at showcasing them all, without, obviously with no spoilers. But just the way they showed different stuff, I thought it was pretty good, man. I 6 episodes, Black Samurai show, anime show. I don't, my expectations, I was excited, I was hyped, but my expectations weren't necessarily high, if that makes sense. So I thought the animation was better than I was even expecting it to be.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of went with some little higher expectations because Mappa has grown a lot in the past few years, the studio Mappa themselves. There's some times when they use 3D like CGI characters, which is usually like it's kind of contentious in just people watching anime in general. Most don't like that style. I think sometimes it doesn't look that good to me. Like later on when they have like the bigger epic battles, I will say. And I think other times it works well if there's only like 1 or 2 characters on the screen. Yeah. But overall, it was an enjoyable watch. Six episodes, you can kind of knock it out in the evening, like finish your workout. Just want to watch some for a few hours. Each episode, I think it's like 30 minutes or so. I think it felt like that. The first couple were 30. But yeah. So I like it. Shout out to everyone that worked on that show. I don't know if this is it or if they're gonna do another season. I kind of hope they do more because like for those that read up on the Yasuke character in that story, I know like little bits of it, obviously like the historical stuff. He's based off an actual person. Like it leans more into anime stuff, like 100%. Like you learn this in the first episode. It kind of is like a spiritual portrayal of him, not like super historically accurate. So I think if you're looking for a more grounded samurai like anime, then you probably won't get that here. There's definitely some really dope sword fighting scenes and everything, but it gets like
it goes anime. There's magic,
it goes anime and stuff involved. There's magic, like mech battles. I'm just letting listeners know. Because I'm sure someone will be like, one episode be like, man, this school full shonen anime. I wasn't really wanting this. Or, just send people to let, expectations know for that. But for what it is I think it's good. But I enjoyed it. Yeah, check out Yasuke on Netflix. Use Netflix, use your girls' Netflix, use your homies' Netflix, use your siblings' Netflix.
That's this is the first show I've watched on Netflix in like months. So
see, that's why you got to watch Agents of Shield. That's all you gotta do. That'll keep you on there. Man. I'll keep you on there. I'm talking. I haven't finished the last season yet either, so I need to shut the hell up.
Ian ahead of you. Ian the smoke. I'll tell you about the Marvel stuff. Look at Ian. Ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we got a spoiler drop.
Spoilers.
Oh, you know what? I can't do my drop again because I heard it and that shit took me out. I was on the last episode. I was like, oh man, that's so good.
So obviously we're gonna talk about Invincible.
The finale.
The finale and
the final
and obviously our whole episode. But I figured we should have at least one person come in here and talk with us a little bit, right? So we got a guest.
How we do actually.
We got a guest who's coming in.
Oh God, I was expecting. I'm gonna let him introduce himself when he gets on.
We got a guest here coming to talk about Invincible. Nazi, it's on your screen. It's gonna say IceEffect.
Welcome.
Friend of the show, Nazi is here. Talk some Invincible with us. I'm here to tell him. Actually, let's backtrack. Let's backtrack. I'm trying to get Nazi here for a little minute. I'm trying to get Nazi here for a little second, and this is Mr. Kingdom Hearts 3 himself.
Oh man, is this actually happening?
Here.
No, I'm not gonna do this right now. We're gonna talk about Invincible. I'm not gonna do this right now. We'll do it another day. But Nazi here. Can you hear us? You good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, man, I feel like I need a camera.
I mean, you can if you want to get on camera, you can, but you don't got to. It's all good.
It's no pressure.
I'll put a little picture of you right here in the video. Little screenshot. All right, so we get into Invincible. Nazi just caught up on us this week. We had a big discussion in the chat about the parallels to Young Justice, which I aggressively disagree with. But we can just start with the finale, and then we'll move into the season as a whole. So jumping right in, obviously, Mark and Omni-Man they just like Mark is like, yo, Dad, what the fuck? Like, what's going on, bro? Like, fam. And he's like, yo, look, son.
He was in denial at first.
He's like, you're an alien parasite and all that. And
let go of my dad.
Like, is someone control you, Dad?
Yo, and the thing is, no, he wasn't even fighting back at first. He's just like,
Jackie Sim was just like, nah.
He's like, yo, hey, stop. Like, yo, you gotta chill. Only for him to be like, yeah, nah, this is what I do. Like, I'm sorry, I should have told you the truth, but ain't nobody controlling me. I'm doing this on my own free will, and you should join me, or I'm gonna kill you too, basically. And obviously, Mark isn't having any of that. He tells him about where he really comes from. And we'll double back to some of those scenes because we got to leave that to the end when we talk about the Viltrumites and the home planet and the niggas that don't even that Earth was too easy for them. The niggas that Earth would have been done 5 years back for them type guys. You know what I mean? No, we gotta go. We gotta. They need their own section for them. But he tells them about the whole history of Viltrum. And that, we're basically out here to conquer worlds and bring them into our empire so they can live in prosperity with us, but under our control. And yeah, so Mark is like, fam, you are tripping. He's like, yo, you're a Viltrumite. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, fam, I'm not related. I don't know nothing about y'all alien folks. I'm human. I was born here. These are my people. And you trying to tell me you're trying to enslave us or kill us all? No, Dad. And he's like, Mark, please don't do this. And you could tell then that he really didn't want to have to do this, but Mark was like, nah. And I don't know if Mark really felt like he had a chance, but you can't fault the man for being brave, right? Like, you're a brave little nigga, because
oh man, he caught one on him, stole one on Omni-Man, and Omni-Man was like, please.
I'm done.
Launched him. That was, oh man.
He starts beating the dog shit out this man, bro.
It was so crazy.
Embarrassing.
I mean,
it was embarrassing. It hurt to watch.
I mean,
it really hurt
tough.
to watch.
It was tough.
It had to be like half the episode.
Imagine Amber at home, just watching her boyfriend get his shit pounded.
She was like, I was mad he was late. Meanwhile, this is happening.
This is like, what?
So I see you got some family issues at home.
She did. They did crack that joke later.
So there are some bigger issues happening around. So the craziest thing to me was obviously the train, right? The train was fucking wild. And taking him to the train.
Okay.
That was
okay.
Literally uses Mark's body to kill people the whole fucking time.
In the way they,
no, go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
In the way they like, like Derek, you say you're gonna get into the comic. You gotta tell me how if it looks just like this in the comic, but like how it's like we're pretty much there. Like it's almost first person view. We see like his like Mark's view of his body just ripping through all these people in the train. I'm sitting here like, we're really here watching this shit. Like I'm here buckled up. I can't get out. This is a point of view.
Yeah.
It is.
People were screaming and dying and oh my goodness.
Man, that scene reminded me why I like cartoons so much because like every now and then you'll just see something that you've never seen before. You know, like that was just like wow. It literally just was mind blowing seeing that type of the camera angle, the blood everywhere. You can see everyone's facial reactions before they get toward the shreds.
Even if folks are like a little queasy or whatever, it's just like okay, it's just it's animated, so it doesn't enact like real life stuff. But if it's live action, like outside of like CGI and stuff, it just gets like ooh, like that might get you a little queasy, make you wince a little bit. Like ooh.
I feel like it just wouldn't look as bad, but here because you've shifted your reality to everybody looking this way, it's like oh shit, they are dying. Like oh my god, when he tried to save the woman in the building.
Oh,
man, that hurt me, man. The woman and the kid. Oh, and then he was just holding her arm, dog. He was just holding her arm.
Yeah,
I felt bad for that.
That was like, oh man.
Oh, the black dude, man.
The black dude. Yeah.
Well, because we got to get to him because that was different. That was different. Because even before that, Omni-Man, all right, he takes the nigga to the bottom of the ocean, going through this Titanic looking ass liner, right? Mm-hmm. Takes him to the bottom of the ocean, beats the shit out of him there. Then when he comes back up, instead of going anywhere else, he goes back through the liner to make sure them niggas die and flies off. I was like, fam, I know you're Omni-Man, and I get you want to cause destruction. But bruh, what the people on the boat do? They really did nothing. Like, oh my, like you could enslave them still. They might listen, especially you kicking they only hope ass. Nah, bruh. Nah, fuck that boat. Dunzo.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
It was like they went through a whole action sequence to save that dude off the plane.
Yes.
The whole action sequence
everything
just to save him. They finally saved the guy. He's like, oh man, I thought I was a goner.
And then
didn't think I was gonna make it.
Omni-Man.
And Omni-Man said,
you was right.
You guessed it.
Jesus, man. Bro, I think I paused. I think I paused at that moment. Like head smashed in hand. I paused. Like he didn't just kill this man, bro. He did not just. My man was almost there, bro. He's
in front of his son.
In front of his son, brain, guts, and everything flew in the man's eyes. Damn.
I gotta give the animations folks some credit. They showed they like muscle a little bit these past 2 episodes. Because like before these 2 episodes, I thought the animation was just good, you know?
Okay,
I've
been hearing a lot of that. I was gonna ask you about that. I've been hearing a lot of that. People have been saying the animation was, and there's a couple episodes where people thought it was pretty subpar.
Yeah.
So honestly, but clearly they were saving a lot for this. This is where a lot of the budget
that's kind of been my thing too. Like, especially the first few episodes where I was like, okay, I can see that the animation can be good, but they're just saving it for specific scenes and moments. It goes from decent to, okay, this is good.
Right.
So, oh shit, people are dying in like numbers.
Yeah.
Like I specifically think of like there's a couple sequences like when he Omni-Man was like flying through the missiles when the airplane or the jets were shooting at him. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember that scene. I think it was the season episode before this where they shot the satellite cannon at him.
Oh,
that was dope.
That looked like an anime animation.
Yeah,
that
was a fire animation. I love that. 100%.
That's probably I still think
that was last
the best
episode. That was
animated scenes in the whole show.
Yeah,
so far,
it felt like the animation got better over time, which is surprising.
Yeah. I think it was just how they allocated their budget to what points. I think that's how it has to be. And I think this next season, I think we'll just see an overall jump because obviously
it's proven.
I think
now.
it'll just be better across the board next season anyway.
I think Amazon just
I'm guessing
lobbing all the money.
They're gonna handle whatever. We got a hit.
You're like, oh, the boys. They said the boys.
12, 14, 15 episodes, man. Yeah.
He said the boys can take how much longer to get season 3? All right, let's just allow more money at Invincible real quick.
Facts. Yeah. I'm definitely yeah, I think they're gonna be. I'm excited to see where the next season goes. Just visual wise, that should be
For
out the
real.
gate.
So
I feel like
I have a
it's gonna
question
be
for
amazing.
y'all. Well, first of all, no one's read the comics, right?
Not yet.
I just started.
Okay.
Started.
Well, I can still ask this. Like,
Mhm.
do you think Mark, the dad, he really didn't want his son to get powers, right? Did he want him to not have powers because he wanted to just enslave them like normal, or did he not want him to get powers because
he did want him to get powers?
He did. Okay.
He did.
I think he was disappointed. Well, okay, so I think in the beginning, because I think he and his mom mentioned him, were just like, oh, you mean you just don't have your powers yet, whatever. But then when it happened, like within the same day or at least the episode we were watching, he was kind of like, oh, great. Like I think he was taken aback a bit, but then he was like, are you sure you want to do this? Like getting his life. So he's like, yeah, I'm ready, blah, blah, blah. He's all gung ho. And then that's when he was doing the super tough, like training stuff with him. So maybe think the like, you know, when he reveals that we're here to actually just take over this fucking planet, he can be alongside him as a fellow Viltrumite. But then as we see in this episode where he's kind of got the earth softness to him, he's just like, oh man, you ain't really built for this.
Yeah, so
I will say,
I
will say that when Mark initially told his dad that he got powers, the way they showed the dad's reaction, it kind of did feel like he was like, damn,
first. Yeah, like, oh,
like you got powers, shit. It felt like he was.
Well,
it didn't feel like he was.
Time to kill Guardians of the Globe real quick, then.
And then he just went and, or maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was like, oh damn, I got to start setting my plans in motion to like make sure that the shit's set up for me to be able to do this with my son.
Yeah, I mean it's not that deep, bro. So basically, the Viltrumite, they tell you in episode 8, the Viltrumites, they're obviously it's easy for them to take over planets, but they're running low on people, right? So they have to make more. So their purpose was to come to that planet, have a child by whatever means those people have children with, have a child that is with Viltrumite blood. The only thing that changes is he didn't know how long it would take Mark to get his because the Viltrumite blood, as he grows older, takes over more and more of his human blood, which is why. And they also told you that Viltrumites, they age less as they get older.
They're basically like Saiyans. They're pretty much Saiyans.
Yeah. So they age. Yeah, so they age less as they get older. So the Viltrumite blood is taking over more and more, which is why his powers manifested at 17. So for him, he was waiting for that moment so that he could do his thing, take over, and then leave. And then basically, Mark is supposed to be the one who's left in charge of Earth to control it. The difference, the issue he had is he never really raised Mark with all the Viltrumite stuff. He never told him anything. He didn't prep him for it, nothing. And he let him be this basically a human boy. So now when he has powers, all he can think about is just being a human superhero and being a hero. He is not really thinking about enslaving anybody or anything like that. So he was his disappointment mostly just came from the fact that he wasn't sure if Mark was ready to do what he was ready to do. Not that he didn't want him to get the powers. The whole point was for him to get the powers. And the only reason he didn't do it any earlier is because he needed Mark to get powers. That's the explanation for why it took this long, why he bothered being with Debbie, why he bothered having a child. It's all because Mark was supposed to be the one to enslave and be here. And then Mark, and even you see how he didn't even discourage Mark from being with Amber, because then Mark can be with Amber, they can have more Viltrumite children, and then you know what I'm saying? And then they become the empire of the world or whatever. That was his idea. But obviously he didn't ready Mark up for any of that.
Okay. See, I had definitely interpreted it differently, especially when they showed the flashback of the baseball scene. Like for some reason, it made me believe that Mark had been domesticated essentially. Like he was okay living his life. He's here, he's cheering for his kid playing baseball. But once his son got powers, it kind of reminded him of what he needs to do. That's kind of how I interpreted it.
Nah, so I think it is kind of telling us, and this is without like I guess any more context that I've gotten from like the comic books or anything, but it's like he was always here to do what he had to do. Like he said, he's loyal to Viltrum, but he needed his kid to have the powers before he could do anything, so that he could start to train him and get him ready. And then in his head, the kid would just follow him as he destroys anybody fighting against him and takes over. because I guess they didn't really think that far. It's a new program, really. If you remember them saying that it's a new program where they just send these people out to do this, so we don't even know if other Viltrumites are going through the same type of issues. The issue with Nolan is that he did kind of develop that little sense of humanity, right? Like that. That's what the baseball thing was, like just showing that. Yeah, even though he is loyal to Viltrum, he's gonna do what he has to do. But there is a little bit of that loyalty that's come from raising this human child and this love of his wife and his son being excited. Like he has grown. He's a little bit soft because of it. That's what it's saying, but it's not saying that like he was going to abandon what he wanted to do. He was always going to eventually take over. He just needed his kid to get the powers first. His kid had to get the powers, then we going to take over. That was always a plan, but it did make him a little softer. Like he was never going to just go kill Debbie, you know what I mean? And just be like, all right, you're done. I'm out. Like, you know what I mean? He was never going to do that. You know what I mean? And even Mark, he was he told that nigga, it only take me another 17 years. And he still couldn't fully do it. So that was kind of, I guess it's mostly just giving us the reason why he didn't fully finish the job, instead of not saying that he forgot what he was supposed to do.
Okay. That makes sense.
So yeah. Yeah, I mean, death all over the place. I
can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be crazy.
Can I say something? Like, one other thing I like about this show, I love shows that do this. It reminds me of like Game of Thrones or Hunter x Hunter, if anyone's seen that, where like the characters live their own lives, if that makes sense. Like they're not fully revolving around the main character. Like especially that ending montage you saw with every character just doing their own thing.
Yeah, I like
I love it when shows do that, because it makes the universe seem more alive and more like an actual universe. Like I can't wait to see the that crazy lion kitty dude again. Like
Battle Beast.
Yeah, that's that guy.
I really hope, for my theory is that he's going to end up joining them to fight against the Viltrumites, but I have no idea what his deal is. But I want to see that dude again. I like seeing the black dude. I can't remember his name. But yeah, I just really like the way I really like the way the universe developed the characters and gave them their own motivations to do their things without being without requiring the main character to be there.
Right. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, they did a really good job. And the guy who wrote the comic, he said himself, like he's changed. The reason there's changes in the show from the comic is because he feels like he's a better writer now. So he feels like he can improve on, some things that he wrote in the comic. So it's not going to be an exact, it's not going to be the exact thing that was happening in the comics, but it's, we know it's strongly based. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
That's really dope. So he's writing this all, and feels like he's improving on what his own thing is. That's why I want to read the comics. From
what I've heard too from people online that they just been ready from years ago. For the most part, this adaptation is elevating the comic, like you said, like everything.
Yeah,
even some people are like Amber's character. She's not that good in the comic apparently, but even here they've elevated her.
They like her better.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know, you check it out. You can go, if you have Amazon Prime, which I'm assuming you do if you've watched Invincible. You can go on Comixology, and it'll give you like it gives you like a 7-day free trial, but I think just for having Amazon Prime, you get access to the first 2 volumes of Invincible for free. And that's I'm pretty sure it's pretty much what we've seen in the show so far. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% because I haven't finished it all yet. I just started reading it Friday night or whenever that was. But yeah.
How many volumes are there of the?
A lot, a bunch. I honestly,
it ran from like 2003 to like 2017 or 2016. So it's got over a decade under its belt, which was surprising.
A lot of material and content.
Which I knew about.
This first season only covered 2 volumes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
when did the series start?
2003.
Okay,
it's older. So I wish I knew about it back then. I was reading comics then. I was actually reading Spider-Man. I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man and X-Men back then. So that's crazy.
Dang, he got all this stuff back in 2003. That's crazy.
Right.
This was like mind blowing back then.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, because like what was it? I think when John or one of y'all mentioned like the Injustice storyline, and I was like, I think this predates it. I mean, it's not exactly like Injustice, but yeah, like I think it does predate, because I double checked. I was like, oh shit. But it's very interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, he obviously took elements from
Oh yeah, it's
Marvel,
not like
DC. It's not like it's not like he's hiding that fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you as you read the comic, he makes jokes on Marvel and DC characters, like you know, so you will see that happen over
We've
time.
seen them in
Yeah,
this
we've seen
show
that
so
already,
far.
yeah.
It'll be funny.
That
So,
dude Titan is just stone Luke Cage.
I mean, yeah, right.
For the most part, yeah.
So yeah, no, it is definitely really good. I'm trying to find the number of volumes it is so I could tell you, but I don't 100% remember. But yeah, I mean, either way, I'm enjoying what I've read so far. It's it's a lot of the preliminary stuff that we saw on the show anyway, so it's not I haven't gotten too far yet, but
so because this is elevating it, the comics, it's not taking away from what was in the comics already. It's adding to it, you would say.
Yeah. And anything that's cut out is kind of not necessary. Like you know what I mean? It's like there might be certain things that aren't there, but it's nothing you'd miss. You know what I mean? That's what I heard.
It's not like a movie adaptation of a book.
It's not what they did to the Snyder cut. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, fuck this whole character. It's not, you know what I mean? It's nothing like that. It's just, okay, we can trim some of the fat, we can beef up some of these moments, we can tell the story better through, this way or that way. I think it's a good job. I think it's a good job so far. And I like the Draw said, I've seen a lot of people online who said the same thing. It's a great adaptation. They're loving the adaptations. They're loving the character models. They're loving everything. So
I do appreciate that the actual writer of the comic is the one writing the show.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Do y'all have a favorite supporting character in the show so far? Like for me, like I said, I like the Battle Cat kitty. I don't know what it was about that.
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast, that's his name. Yeah,
Battle Beast is
I like the twins, man.
Yeah, the Mauler twins.
Yeah,
I grew on them a lot. They're all, I mean, okay, so the whole, and now Nassi Street, we can talk about more too. Like the whole, like what was it? I think it was that episode 7 that we learned about robots, like true intentions and stuff. That was episode 7. Yeah.
It was 6. I might be wrong. Yeah,
7 and 8, a lot of things happened, bro. So it kind of blends. But yeah. Yeah, I think it was 7. I don't know, maybe it was whatever. So one of the last few episodes, when they figure out, Robot's character goes to them to be like, yo, I want y'all to make me a body using his blood, etc. Like the whole thing with the Mauler twins are like, yeah, like once we process goes, it's not just like we transfer your whole consciousness, is a full copy. So when you both wake up, you're not going to be sure which one's the original not. And that's just kind of mind-blowing. I don't think I've ever seen that done in any other like entertainment or fiction or whatever, to where it's like, it's not like, in every body swap thing ever, it's just you transfer your body to this and that's that. The other one's just a shell or dead. This was like, yo, your consciousness is just copy. Someone just did copy and paste. And then when you wake up, you just gotta be like, yo, who's the original? And that's why the Mauler twins are always like cracking jokes on each other, like, oh, you're just a copy. That's what I expect from a clone. I'm the better looking one anyway. I'm the original, all that dumb stuff. I thought shit was kind of crazy. That stuff, and then at the end, where they're just at the very end of the episode, the series, they're just about to scrap, and they looked around, they just say, you know what? Fuck it, let's just go to jail again. We'll break out in season 2. That's fine. Yeah.
I was laughing at the dude who they messed up in the prison with the broken arm. How you just give him that look.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, what's good?" It's like, "I'm back, bro." How
like
you
that
feeling?
continuity is like that's dope, because I didn't even catch it the first. I watched the episode twice. I didn't catch it the first time. Then I was like, "Oh, that's the same dude." I was like,
"That dude was me mugging them."
He looked at me, okay, he walked away quicker. I was like,
"Yep." That's crazy, man. Yeah. No, they're doing a great job, man.
The world is built.
I think they built a good world.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm. I feel bad for like Debbie, his mom.
Oh,
that shit, man. I feel so bad.
That trauma is real, man.
That trauma. Yeah, when they got like after everything, no one left, and they had the little time skip where he healed. They went back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Mark's like, oh, you want to order food or anything? He's like, no, just do whatever. I'm gonna just be upstairs. And then he goes up there and he just sees her just bawling. I'm just like, bro, like, oh,
passion.
That's tough, man.
Your husband at 17 or 20 years or whatever called you a pet, bro.
Right. That's the most demeaning thing ever. Like,
y'all think Cecil gonna get with Debbie, man?
I hope not.
I swear I was thinking the same thing.
It was something. It was
I
something
hope
there.
not,
It was
bro.
something there.
I
can't lie.
No,
I was thinking the
man.
same
Please
thing.
I
don't.
don't know, man. I think y'all, man. Y'all.
I think she's kind of. I think
That'd
she's
be
gonna.
so creepy. Nah, man.
It
That'd
would,
be
but
creepy.
The whole thing.
It's just weird to me. I don't know, man.
the thought entered my mind the way they start interacting at the end there.
Yeah, at the end.
I think I think there was just a mutual understanding where he was just like, after everything, all the lies, deception, etc., that this is the best I can do for you and your family. And she was about to, raise the volume level, but then she's like, you know what? I'm dealing with trauma right now, so I'm gonna just say thank you and keep it moving.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was anything like that. I think that'd be weird. That'd be weird to me. I don't know.
They better the fuck not trying to do matchmaker.
I just think that'd be weird. I think but I haven't read. Maybe in the comic it happens. I don't know. So
and can y'all clarify something for me? The Cecil dude. So he uses a teleporter like everyone else, because I couldn't tell if he had a teleporting ability or if he was also using a teleporter that he was.
I think he's using a teleporter.
I think he.
I don't think he has a teleporting ability.
The wrist.
Yeah, because he mentioned that other people need the wrist, but I don't remember him having it or using it or something. Because the way he was teleporting seems so quick, Yeah,
it seemed like more like that, like an instant transmission type thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if it's his or not. But it seemed he made it. I interpreted that he had it from
the jump,
like just the technology, but not. But now that you say it, it could be a power.
I have to go back and look. Well, in this same episode too, they just explain. I'm gonna just call it the white room because the whole room is white. But they explained how all the scientists and dudes were there, and where most people can't, if they ever walk in there, they can't see what's being created because the water or something has something in it that's inhibited.
They lace the water.
Yeah.
What the suck?
Oh man.
That inhibits you from seeing certain frequencies or something.
I wonder if that was really in the comic, or if they entered it in because Flint has been gone X amount of days without clean water, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. But yeah, that's interesting. A lot of interesting things.
He doesn't have he doesn't have the power. It's just a
teleporter.
It's a teleporter.
Well, see, they say his power is teleportation, but it's not really. It's not really a power. They list it as a power, but it's not really his power. It's not an internal thing that he has. It's just he can do it. He can teleport, but it's not. It's like a Power Ranger suit, I guess. That's how I look at it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, he's still cool regardless.
He's facts. I love it. He's bold as hell going out there with Invincible. I mean, right, man.
He definitely put himself out there and was just like, yo, let's talk teleport. And he barely got away with just his tie. And he was just like, yo, I thought that was it, bro. I thought I was ended.
Slap that man.
That dude is super. See, this goes back to my favorite thing. I don't know what. I guess we can each talk about our favorite thing about the show. But my favorite thing about the show is, if y'all haven't noticed, it's the characters. I like the fact that anytime any character goes on the screen, I know I'm gonna like the scene because I like every character. Every character is just very interesting to me. Really all of them. So that's my favorite thing about the show is just the characters. Honestly, not only character. What am I trying to say? Omni-Man. My only issue with Omni-Man is the reveal was a little too, I don't know what I expected. I kind of wanted something more, if that makes sense, but it was still good, so I'm not complaining.
You wanted to do it in a grander way,
or I guess
taking over or something.
I guess what I wanted his motives to be a little more complex or deep than that, I guess, because the way they were setting it up with him, the hiding the fact of why he killed him, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more crazy, but it was still good, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, I just like the characters in the show a lot.
Right. Yeah, I think characters and the writing all pretty good. I really don't. There's really no character. I mean, outside the fact of the reading to be annoying, Explode. There's no one that's really inherently annoying. This
and
sucks.
even him,
Explode is just
interesting.
His character is annoying, but that's kind of what the thing is.
He was still at least he was a little funny, annoying.
Somewhat likable asshole in some cases.
Why did you call me?
Yeah, right. I mean, that's valid. If someone puts a hand on my shoulder and pricks me, and then a day later they're like, "Hey, I have a body. It looks like you at 15." I'd be like, "Well, one, why the fuck did you choose my body? You're gonna get a tall, lanky ass motherfucker, dorkier than him now. What are you doing?"
You're right.
This guy. But so that's valid.
If I were to select my favorite thing about the show, I think it's the realism. like the fact that Mark catches all the L's. Like I don't think he's gotten a W in this entire thing, or even like the teen team and how many L's they've caught. Like it's like they're starting out, and this is what happens when you're starting out and you're thrown into the fire with the big dogs.
Why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep doing this, Ian? You trying to trigger me?
What? Doing what?
You keep saying they're starting out. Mark is the only one starting out. Mark is the only one.
There was a scene with the Battle Cat where they get stomped, bro. They're up against the top villains.
But that doesn't mean
up against the other guys too, and they get wrecked.
That doesn't mean they're new.
I mean, they were new as a team, though.
As a team, and that's what I'm saying. As a team together, they don't,
There was like a whole scene with them, like the dude was explaining how they could have saved more people if they actually were a good team. Yeah, so I kind of see what he's saying.
Yeah, Monster Girl, black dude whose name I keep
forgetting. That's what I'm saying, like individually,
and they had another chick, like what was she? Shrinking or whatever. I can't remember.
It's just semantics then. I wouldn't say they're a new team, yes, but to say they're all they're still heroes though. They did a terrible job, but they're not just starting out. They did a terrible job because they're all used to working solo. So but they all were working. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I struggle to call them new when Mark is the only one who just got powers and really is just trying to figure out like his strength level and what he can even do and can't do. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like Mark is a novice for real. He really don't know what he's doing. The other ones, at least they have an idea of how to operate in battle. They understand they can't save everybody. You know what I mean? Like Adam Eve said that. She's like, we got to understand we can't save everyone. When that first the little fake alien invasion first one came in or whatever, and Omni-Man ended up coming up and beating it, I think, a little bit. Or did he go to that world and end up killing him because they kept coming back? Awesome. That was dope. But they had kept coming back to like keep fighting, and Adam Eve and Team, whatever they were fighting. I felt like that was, you know what I'm saying? They knew how to operate, but they also understood like, hey, we can't save everybody. We're gonna lose more people if we keep, you know what I mean? Like they knew what to do. It's just once they got spread up from that, and then obviously, Guardians of the Globe got smoked. Then when they started pulling in who they thought were the best ones into that. And then if they had Adam Eve, they probably would have been all right too. The team probably would have been straight with Adam Eve. But since she decided to go, be a peacemaker and do her own thing,
you know what?
I don't blame her, but
Adam Eve. I'm very curious about her.
Honest to God.
Yeah, they say they haven't even scratched the surface of her yet.
Of course not.
Maybe that's why.
Because within 8 episodes, we've gone from she's just a pink lantern to actually I can just change molecular. I can just make the world that ass like
broken. She could have beaten Omni-Man
on a molecular level just cause when she's yelling her phone, I can change anything. I was like, huh? So you just buffed yourself within the episode.
I'm curious how much they're gonna go with the love triangle thing, if that's even gonna be a thing, because they were hinting at it, but I can't really tell if they are serious or not with that whole.
I mean, they do hint at it. I don't know. I mean, and you got to think too. I mean, even depending how the comic goes, since this is he feels like he's a better writer now. He may or may not go down the super love triangle path thing.
Did he say that he might take some slight liberties with this show versus the comic?
He's been said that. Yeah, he said.
He said that
you're gonna notice. He said there are gonna be changes. It's not gonna be
that's
like for like.
That's good. I mean, yeah.
It's his comic, so yeah.
Mid-late.
If he want to make a wide left turn, what can we say? I mean,
2000s versus 2021. Early 20, whatever you want to call this decade, 2020s, whatever. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
So there's definitely potential for it not to go the way it seems it may go. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, because obviously Amber came right back at the end.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
So I was like
wow, she really came back. Like,
just because I got my
act like y'all not gonna take your girl back, man. You take your girl back, man.
I would. I'm more disappointed in her.
I'm disappointed in her for leaving in the first place.
Like, shouldn't have been mad at me. I was being a superhero, but all right, come on, girl.
Like you telling me you knew I was a superhero this whole time and why I was missing, and you still mad?
You saw me on news getting my ass kicked daily, and you still complaining. All right, man. I see it, but damn.
I like the teases every time he's trying to say he was invincible, and them title drops made me laugh.
Oh yeah, title drops.
Yeah, title drops.
The only way he'll win this if he's done blood splatter. Like the whole
the blood.
I
look, and that's how I knew that last episode title screen when the blood splatter came out, and then it came with the second. I was like, all right, this is about to be bad.
I wonder if the blood splatter is kind of like a foreshadow to the future of.
I think it's a foreshadow with just how this season ended. Like it got bloodier and brutal and bloodier. Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary. The blood was worse in episodes where there wasn't as much death. It was just a progressively through the episode thing, and then obviously at the end is when we got like the big,
I think it's just foreshadowing the bloodshed that happened, like the body count.
But I've been sharing this picture around. Damn, I just realized it's not on my. Oh, I can send it to you on my phone, Nazi, just so you have it, so you know what I'm. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This picture right here. These are the ones that we really need to worry about. And I guess that might be like maybe too much of a spoiler, so we don't have to say their names or anything like that. But in that Viltrumite scene, when you go back and you saw those two, if you see the message I just sent you on WhatsApp, when you saw those two, he's like, those is the guys, those is the ones, him and her.
It's funny you mentioned them because I did notice them as well because they're like old. I was just like, what the heck?
And now with the context of knowing how Viltrumites age, you got to think how long they've been around.
Yeah, if they're old enough to be gray.
If they're old enough to look old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when shows do a little teases like that for the future.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy when we get to see the Viltrumites really do Viltrumite shit. Like niggas are saying this is who Omni-Man wish he was. Like this is who Omni-Man is trying to be.
That is
Omni-Man is like a level 1 boss. For context, Omni-Man is the tutorial boss, man. You know the little boss you fight when they like, hey, this is how you fight. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's Omni-Man.
These two people, they bench press planets, man.
They bench press,
juggle them shit.
This like moon, nothing. Another moon, just a morning workout. That's it.
So what's y'all's theory, or what do y'all think season 2 is gonna take place? Because I haven't. My theory is more that he's gonna Invincible is gonna start exploring. He's gonna start being with that alien dude a lot and going maybe meet up with the council that he was talking about. Talk about forming a defense strategy.
Yeah,
I think that's probably gonna be a thing. I think you may see more with that Martian thing. That may be a side plot with the Martians finally coming to Earth and doing crazy stuff.
Definitely
both of those I agree with.
I think that's where I see the story going.
And I think I don't know that Omni-Man is necessarily gonna come back next season.
I
think I think what they might do, especially since they he already explained how the other Viltrumites work. I think we might get a tease of where he's going, where he's been, and maybe him getting smacked.
Well, I got an idea. Well, I don't know.
I think he's gonna go through a Zuko arc.
I think they're gonna show him going to where he's going, and then being like, well, where the fuck is Earth then? Be like, well, we would have done it, but it turns out my son is blood splatter invincible or something like that.
wait. Well, I mean, I think so. What I'm saying is, I think that basically Omni-Man. I think he left. I think he probably went and took over another planet, and then went back and went like, look, I took over. I abandoned my post on Earth, but I took over these couple other planets so that chill out. Like I brought some other planets into the Empire, but Earth is a special project. I gotta approach that differently or something like that. I think that's probably more than likely what happened to Omni-Man because I can't see him just going back to the Viltrumites empty-handed and no Earth and just being like, yeah, I left because I love my son. Like, no, no, I don't think that's happening. And he's not, I don't think he that pussy either. So he gonna figure something out. He gonna figure out a way he can get Mark out the way and take over Earth. That being said, everything else I 100% agree with. And I think you're gonna see a little bit more of Mark learning to be a hero again now with having to fight regular villains again for a little bit.
Protecting Earth.
I mean, he doesn't have a sensei anymore.
I think a good portion. Assuming this next season 2 is gonna be 8 episodes as well. I think at least 2-3 episodes are gonna be him figuring out the balance of like actually being the like main protector for at least Cecil and them for Earth,
Yeah, he's gonna have to go through some
then,
big training montages, actually learn how to fight because he can't really fight. He just be swinging because he's strong.
Yeah,
you think there's gonna be
it's a Superman conundrum?
Yeah. It's gonna be a new teacher for him, like maybe the black dude in the teen squad, or maybe that immortal dude. Look like he's trying to revive him again.
Yeah, I think that's Immortal's thing. Nah, I think he's definitely gonna. I think it's gonna be like a combination thing. I think it's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be like a direct sensei because who can train a Viltrumite? I think it's gonna be more of everybody who has experience is just gonna kind of be sharing their wisdom with him. He's just gonna kind of integrate, and he might. I think maybe they might be able to convince him to join the Guardians of the Globe, which would be obviously be a different because Omni-Man never did it. So I think it would be, he might actually just join in so he gets this idea of working with a team and learning that, hey, I'm still a young Viltrumite. I might be a Viltrumite. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for my dad to kill me, but I still can't beat him on my own. You know what I mean? Like we need to team up. We need to be together. And then obviously, like you said, though, I still think he will take those trips to space and have to go, talk to the council and figure shit like that out. But I wonder if the Viltrumite can't see him coming or something. Like they should know about him, and I don't know. And then I wonder as well because he can't. Mark shouldn't be the only one. The other Viltrumites that got sent out to planets in that program should have done the same thing. They should have had kids or whatever on those other planets they went to. So are all of those kids just loyal Viltrumites now, or are some of them also rebellious half Viltrumites or whatever? You don't know. So, or could they even have kids on those other planets? That's also a thing too. So. There's a lot of different factors that can go into it, and we probably sound crazy to anybody if they've read the comic and we're
right.
They're like, "Yo, y'all are stupid. Y'all know shit." But it's fun to theorize. I like it. I can't wait to see where we go, man. I cannot wait to see where we go. But yeah, overall rating of the season. Y'all want to out of 10? Go ahead, give it a season rating.
I have no issues.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Do I want to? I mean, I can't.
I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
0.5 is petty points. No, honestly, I don't really. Man, I think I might give it a 9.5 too. I'm gonna be petty as well. Although I don't have. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'll give it a 9.5 because this is first season, first series type of thing. I wish the animation was a bit more consistent. I think that's the only thing, really. Voice acting for all the people were good. Stacked list of people there. Got my boy Glenn from Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Invincible. They got
voice acting cast is amazing.
They got JK. Yeah, it's good. Characters are well written for the most part. Action was great, bloody, etc. Yeah, just tighten up the animation. Quality, consistency. That's really it, I think. But 9.5 out of 10. It's fire. One of the best things I've seen this year so far.
Yeah, I think it was. I give it a 9. I think it was really, really good. The only thing for me was just, like I said, the animation. I expected to get like that Game of Thrones season 2 bump up in the animation next, or choreography and stuff next season. And and I guess what we were talking about in the chat is just the beginning of the show just felt. It just reminded me of so many other things that it wasn't as unique as it was at the end of the show. So I guess I'll say it took a while for me at least to get as good as it got. So that's the only reason I give it a 9. But outside that, it was real good.
I'm at a 9.8. I don't care if that makes me a hype beast or not. You
got less petty points to give?
Yes. Only got 0.2 petty points to give for the animation stuff because I don't really care about it, but I have to acknowledge that it was there. Personally, so that's the only reason I'm giving it a 9.8 instead of just straight 10 out of 10. But yeah, I had no issues the whole way. I loved every second. I was tapped in every Friday, and I was pissed I didn't know they were coming out on Thursdays. So
right, yeah, like what?
I was tapped in, easily. Got my attention, real quick, real fast. I definitely see where some of the comparisons come from, but I looked at it as its own thing from the beginning. I always saw it completely separate. Other than the obvious ones they like throw in your face, where there's like, oh, this is supposed to be Superman, and these are supposed to be Batman, this is supposed to be da da da.
Oh yeah,
but then they kill him, at the end of the first episode. So I'm like, all right, cool, like that's right out the way. We don't.
I like how they just did that swear, honestly, because at first I was like, all right, so clearly we know who all these characters are based off of for the most part. But then they just off. I was like, oh, okay, that was a swerve. Got it.
Yeah.
That
was
those kind of similarities I like because I knew they were setting up something. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Have they announced when exactly season 2 is coming out?
Nah, yeah, we'll wait. Trust me, you'll know. It'll be in that chat. It'll be in that chat. It'll be in that chat. Trust me.
Depending on how long it takes, I may just fuck around and then start reading.
I think everybody's saying that right now. For the most part.
Because I kind of want to know.
Season 2 will hit before the year ends. I think season 2 hit before
I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm really hoping. But I don't know if Amazon believed it was going to hit this hard before to give them the green light to start doing season 2.
I mean,
I'm giving them time to say, I think if it'll take till maybe spring to get season 2 of next year, but I think we'll get both season 2 and 3 next year. If we, you see what I'm saying?
Well,
I think that'll happen.
Well, I think you're gonna do. I think they're gonna do. A lot of shows do this all the time now, and in this case, they classify season 2 and 3. I think they're gonna do both, and then just release them separately, like space it out for their content and all that shit. Like I think they'll have season 2 and 3 done, and then they'll air season 2 sometime this fall. I don't know, September, October, and then they'll do like drop season 3 like around this time next year, something like that. That's my prediction. Like they'll have both done. They just have a split up in 2 different seasons for the arcs they want to tell, and just drop it when they feel like they want to have people's eyes on Amazon Prime for 8 weeks at a time or 5 weeks, month, whatever. But yeah,
I think they'll get more episodes too. I think the 8 episodes was Amazon taking a chance on a comic that came out over a decade ago, and they just didn't know, almost 2 decades ago basically, and they didn't know exactly when, how it would go. And they also weren't sure, if there was comic. I mean, you've heard John even say, he has comic book, kind of oversaturation. And I can understand that if this isn't like your main
this love. Stuff makes money.
Definitely.
So I get it. So that being the thing, I think Amazon was just like, hey, here's 8 episodes. Let's see if we can get people's attention. Getting this many people's attention, I could see them bumping this to 15 episodes, because this first season could have been stretched a little more. We could have got a little more detail. We could have got, and to be, whether people want that or not, I don't know. Me personally, I would have loved it, but granted, it's hindsight being 2020. Now going forward, though, I think everybody would be okay with 15 episodes, a little more detail, getting a little deeper on even more characters, and seeing more action scenes and stuff. I just think I think we'll see that episode number jump up. I don't foresee them staying at 8. I just think it's, and especially with 30-minute episodes, 40-minute episodes,
45, like 45,
45-minute episodes. I just think, I think they'll jump it up. I think they will. I hope they will. Maybe that's just me hoping, but who knows? But that's good, man. We jumped right into Invincible. I guess we didn't get a chance to introduce the people to Nazi too much. But right here, since we're done with Invincible, we all gave our ratings and everything. Nazi's a friend of the show. What do you like? The best fighting game player in Georgia, in America?
I'm on hiatus right now.
Nah, fuck COVID. That. He's still in the lab. Nah, he's still the best lore in Street Fighter 5, aka Street Fighter Win 6, aka Capcom hurry the hell up and announce the sequel. But he's still the best out here.
Yeah. Hey man,
that's what I'm saying. Hey,
that guy.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look,
I am him type of thing, man.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so
yeah, they're right. That's my thing. Fighting games, love fighting games.
I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe that.
Yeah, right.
I can't do nothing until COVID ends, though.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that's holding everyone back right now.
Yeah,
once everything's back open, it's a wrap.
But you're right. Where we at on time?
We are just under like an hour 57 in.
All right, good. We got 5 minutes. Nazi.
Oh boy,
Nazi. You got to explain to people what's so good about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh man, I keep it real simple. I say it all the time. If someone doesn't like Kingdom Hearts 3, that means they just got old in general. That means, I'm pretty sure if they went back to Kingdom Hearts 2, they won't like it. Because if you look straight from a comparison perspective, Kingdom Hearts 3 has, better graphics, obviously, better maps, like way better maps than Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 1. Gameplay, now the gameplay was but then the update came and the update made everything amazing. Kingdom Hearts 3 has the best bosses in my opinion in any action game in general. The DLC bosses are they were just a whole different type of fights, and those really compelled me. And I don't know, I just think if you just compare it to every other Kingdom Hearts game, it's just straight up superior. And if you don't like Kingdom Hearts 3, that's fine. That just means that you wouldn't like going back to the other Kingdom Hearts either. That's my thought process on it.
I love Kingdom Hearts 2. I'll play the shit out of Kingdom Hearts 2. I'll beat Kingdom Hearts 2 tonight just to prove you wrong. All right. Here's my thing. What Kingdom Hearts 2 map is the Toy Story world better than?
What Kingdom Hearts 2 map is the Toy every map? Every
Kingdom Hearts 2 map. The two locations Toy Story map is better than any of the Kingdom Hearts 2 maps?
Because every Kingdom Hearts 2 map was a narrow corridor with a hallway of enemy. You kill the enemies, you go to the next hallway, go to the next loading screen. At least with Kingdom Hearts 3, Toy Story 2, the Toy Story map, you had a huge little playground to go wherever you wanted to.
It wasn't a playground. It was a couple yards and one house you could go in. And then you run from there to a toy store. And then, I mean, don't be wrong, the toy store was a dope area. I loved that area. That was dope. But it just wasn't enough there. The story there was just...
Yeah, now the story, okay, I didn't even get on the story. Story's trash. Now, I will say that if you like the Kingdom Hearts 2 story, then you good. That's way better in my opinion.
Even just, and I guess my issue is mostly is how repetitive some of the ways you have to work through these worlds were. And in Kingdom Hearts 2, I know we had to go to each world twice, and they, give or take, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't, but I felt like there was enough of a difference between both visits that it was like, okay, I got a different experience, even though I kind of went through the same areas. That Frozen loop was probably the worst world in a Kingdom Hearts game I've ever played. Like, it was like up the mountain, fight the thing, down, up the mountain, fight the thing, up the mountain, fight the thing, and then you get but hey, here's the best Keyblade that you've gotten so far. Like, that was, I used that Keyblade for most of the game. But that was like, after that, I was like, this is terrible. The only world in that game that don't get me wrong, I like that Toy Story world. I just feel like it could have been more.
I agree.
And I like the Big Hero 6 world as well, but I feel like that could have been more. The Pirates of the Caribbean world, I felt like was the best game because that felt just like they took Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Disneyfied it, and put it into the game. I thought that was cool. That was fun. That felt like the only world that they took their time with, fleshed it out, had their story ready for it. Like, it felt like they spent the last 13 years developing that. And then we're like, yo, what else can we throw in here? Oh, Toy Story. Oh, we got Pixar now. Yeah, let's throw in some of those. Oh, kids like Frozen. Yeah, let's just kind of throw that. Like, I thought the Frozen world was worse than even Kingdom Hearts 2 Little Mermaid. I thought it was worse than that.
Okay. I'll say this.
Bro, okay, yeah, I got to fight, but I mean,
yeah, like,
I'd rather play the rhythm game, bro.
Nobody wants no.
I'd rather play the rhythm game, bro. I had way more fun with the rhythm than I did with hearing Let It Go in the background while I fight some monster.
Yeah,
for the fifth time.
See, I'm of the opinion that Kingdom Hearts 2 has the worst worlds of any Kingdom Hearts. Personally, I think Kingdom Hearts 1's worlds were way better. Like, and Kingdom Hearts 3 improved upon Kingdom Hearts 1's world design. And to me, that was the correct thing to do. Because, yeah, I like the fact that every Kingdom Hearts 3 stage has its own mini game, has its own unique mechanic. Like, that's what I liked. And that's how the kind of Kingdom Hearts 1 was. Kingdom Hearts 2, like I said, it was just narrow corridors, So I think even that is worse. Even the Frozen world is still better than anything in Kingdom Hearts 2, in my opinion, outside of the story. But yeah, like I said, I can see why people don't like Kingdom Hearts 3. I get it, especially if you played the game when it first came out. Like, I get it. Because to me, it was way too easy when I first played it. Like,
that was the issue too.
I couldn't stand how easy it was.
Super easy.
Once the update came through, they fixed that.
Maybe I'll give it another shot now that the update's out. Maybe I'll.
Yeah, the bosses. I think the game's worth playing for the bosses alone. Those final 13 bosses are. I truly think they're the best. You're talking like I played Devil May Cry. I played Nier. I played tons of action games, but those 13 bosses were just amazing. And like they were all very different from each other. They were all mechanically complex. They were all difficult as heck. And that's not even talking about the secret boss, which is just insane. But so I think that's the other reason why it really resonated with me, is how good those bosses were.
And that's that's normally the argument I get back whenever I decide to piss people off on the internet and say I hate Kingdom Hearts 3. Is it's normally the boss fights, and I'm like, that's cool. It's just for I guess you know what it is, and that's what it is. I am just jaded mostly because you wait this long for a game, and you want you're looking for an overall good experience with each world. I'm looking for a good story being told to me. And I felt like it was just I mean, we didn't even, I guess, talk about the story that much, but I felt like the story was just the most convoluted
trash
that I've ever fucking seen. And I thought that 358 by 2 days, I thought that was the most convoluted bullshit. And then this happened, and I was like, bro, what are we even doing? They tried to give you time travel with I was like, bro, what is happening anymore? And then here comes this nigga, and he's important. Like, all right, bro. When I saw the credits roll, I was like, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. I'm done. They're not about to put me through another 20 years of pain.
So given how modern gaming is, AAA modern gaming, etc., I kind of suspected, outside of the already super convoluted story, and so I kind of suspected that this Kingdom Hearts 3 would fall in that trap where either the later content that would be a final mix content would tidy up the game's overall thing. And I feel like game day one versus game post all the content being will be largely different and will probably elevate it to a point. Because like I remember when Nassi was remember you were streaming the good chunk of the Remind DLC, and you're fighting you know I'm talking about, old buddy, not this looking ass dude. But when you're fighting him and some of the other boss content, what they had, I was like, damn son, they really did save like the best content for this DLC to round out the game as a whole, and drip some of the future Kingdom Hearts story bits and or like the world and all that junk. So that was kind of my assumption of what they did. And yeah, because I remember even when the game first came out, Cam and I were rooming, I would watch him play, and I'd be like, well, I mean, the attractions look cool, but I think after the 20th time of leaning on them, it gets to be one note type of thing. But then like saw when he did that update, update the combat and versatility of everything, it'll be better. But yeah, so that's kind of my gist as an onlooker of seeing things. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think Kingdom Hearts basically I think they realized they didn't know what the fuck they're doing with the story. I think they just decided we're going to lean into the part that we feel like people like. And I feel like, not say people like, but I feel like that got the most attention and stuff like, the Sephiroth fights and the big fights. And I feel like that's what they just went with in this game. They're like, all right, well then now here's 13 bosses and fight them all. And it's not that it's bad. I just think it's lazy. And I think that's my issue. It's not that that's bad. It's just you've been telling this story for so long, and you made people wait this long, and you clearly put no effort into developing a story, and then just tried to make it super confusing at the end, as if that's supposed to make it interesting. I don't know. Even the way the last battle is designed, where like you run into every room and then you fight them, but then they tell you like their monologue, even though the other dude is alive right there.
Oh yeah, that was
like
so
that.
bad.
That never made any sense to me. I'm like, this other dude is right here trying to smoke me, but we're both gonna stop fighting so we can hear this dude's final words. Like, all right, fine. Like, it was just like that's what it is to me. It's just like there are good points in the game, like for sure. There are good, like you said, the mechanics. It does feel good. Some of the Keyblade animations and stuff I do love, but it's just like, man, like you didn't put any effort into building this out as a full game at all. And I can tell, like, even though there are some benefits now and with the updated system and all, it's just like, yeah, I paid for this off rip. I pre-ordered this. Like this is what you gave me? come on, man. Y'all gotta do this.
Yeah, it's not like I do have plenty of criticism still. Like you said, the story is terrible. Like I was really disappointed in to me, the worst level wasn't the Frozen world. To me, now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't like the Big Hero 6 world because it was so big, but there's nothing to do.
Dude, that world is
that was very.
That's what I meant by more. They needed more story there.
That's the most disappointing world I've seen in the game, honestly. I mean, the Frozen world I watched Camp. I was like, this doesn't look fun, like to move around. The final boss was okay, I guess. But
I did like that final boss.
Yeah, the big ice wolf or whatever, that was cool. But like Big Hero 6 world, because like when they first announced, I was like, oh man, the potentials could be dope. And then it's just like, nope, it really falls into that complaint Nassi made about like previous Kingdom Hearts world design, which is really basic, contained, small, not really anything super inspired, which they should have jumped into more given the potential of the Big Hero 6 world. But it is what it is.
But yeah, I get the criticism. I fully do get them. I just think that I guess I just have an issue when people compare it to Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically. Because to me, if you just look at them like side to side, the things Kingdom Hearts 3 does outside the story, to me, is just better than everything Kingdom Hearts 2 did.
And you're probably right. It's just that Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a direction. There's even though it is a little convoluted itself, there's still more of a focus, like it makes sense still. And as you like, you know what I mean? There's like, and you're right. They Kingdom Hearts 2, they did kind of rely on the story pulling you through the arenas and those corridors and those pockets of fights. I don't know. I guess in my head, I was expecting Kingdom Hearts 3 to be like Birth by Sleep on steroids.
Yeah.
And
you should have. Like, it's been 15 years.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You should have.
It just wasn't. And I was like, all right, well, the story's trash. And the game did feel better after the little update because I tried it once. And then I was like, but there's just nothing here. I don't have the desire to play any of the rest of it. And then the DLC, I didn't get the DLC. So I never got the fight. And that's not really my thing either. So that's why it wasn't ever enough to make me go, okay, let me download this again, give this a fair shot again, because that's not my biggest thing. I don't mind a boss fight, but I'm not just playing just for boss fights. It's not enough to grab my attention, but I can understand the appeal of it. So I don't know. It's just a disappointing game to me. It's just.
Yeah, understood. And like I said, if they never did the updates, then I would probably be disappointed too. Because like I said, it's been 15 years, so you definitely want to see like a huge improvement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I fully get why people are disappointed, because I was also disappointed when it first came out. I wasn't as disappointed as you, but I was still like, dang, I wish it was a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
I get it. It's all good though.
For sure. See, that wasn't so bad. Right? Like we were supposed to have that conversation on here for like 2 years. That's not that 1 2. Not 2 years. How long has it been? A year and a half, maybe? I don't know.
Something. We talked about it for 2019.
Was it 2019 that it came out? See how long? See how much I put it out of my memory?
It was 2019.
How much is out of my head?
But I'm glad it finally happened. It finally happened.
Oh man,
historic moment in the Two Ugly Nerds podcast universe.
Yeah, I'm just glad y'all have you on here. I like this.
Yeah, man, it's fun, man.
This is the Sunday morning / midday or afternoons, 2:00. Whenever we
can start on time, it's in the morning. But
yeah.
But yeah, man, we whenever there's any big stuff coming up, we'll let you know when we got a slot for you.
You're
right on with us, man. I appreciate you for jumping on with us, man.
That's good. Thanks for having me.
For sure, bro. For sure.
Yeah, man.
Sure. For people out there, y'all want to follow Naasi? Do you really use your social media like that? I mean, I know I see you on like from time to time, like say stuff like sports comments and stuff.
Man, only follow my social media if you care about fighting games or basketball. Like, so you can follow me at IceEffect FGC on Twitter. And yeah, but if you don't like those two things, then you're gonna be disappointed seeing my tweets.
Hey, the disclaimers have been made, so
there you go. You know what you're getting. Oh damn, I messed up my thing. But yeah, man. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I think we're not too much over 2 hours. It's not too bad.
Not too about 2:12, 2:13.
Yeah. Look at me. Look at us. Who would have thought? That's a meme. Ian's not really on social media, but that's a meme.
Memes like
people on the internet laugh at that. People on the internet laugh at. Don't worry.
Yeah. It was hot last year. It was hot last year.
I hope they laugh with me. Anyways, man, I appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate Naasi for joining us. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, enjoy. It's been 2 Ugly Nerds today. It's 4 of us. 4. We're not ugly though. Maybe draw a little bit. It's a joke. It's a don't be mad. Draw.
This month.
Kill him.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, man. Hey man, it's been 2 Ugly Nerds, man. Peace.
All right, deuces.
Peace.